Hi. Yeah, so basically the fact that you have to believe in God means that there's no way that or the Bible basically says that there's no way that you could use human logic to prove that he exists.
Well, that's not my fucking problem. How do you know that there's a God, and why the fuck would you believe in this if you can't even demonstrate it?
Well, the basis of religion is the fact that it has to be faith-based.
The same with
It's
spaghetti monsters, the same with all kinds of fucking ridiculous monsters. The Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, your mama. Like I can just name anything I want to and say the same shit to. So how do you know that what you believe is true?
right that do you know what faith is? It means that you don't know it's true. You
Yeah,
you you
that's
have to
that's a
believe in
big
it.
red flag. That's a big fucking red flag. You should never believe in something on faith. That is the most useless thing you can possibly do. Faith, by definition, means you have no evidence for it. Why would you want
Right.
to do that? That's stupid.
Do you believe that there aren't people who positively live a good life through religion?
Yeah, who cares? I care about the truth, though. I don't care if you're a good person. I care, is there a truth to the God thing? If there is, I
Right.
want to believe it. If there's not,
But
I
if
don't
if
believe
there
it.
are Christians who are living a good life and not bothering anyone and they live their entire life not in your truth or the truth, is that why is that a problem? Why do they have to prove that God
Because
exists?
they can vote, and their vote based on their beliefs that they hold about their God can take away my rights, right? Look at what Christians are doing. They're trying to take away abortion rights because of their stupid beliefs. They're
And
trying to take
so
away
can
LGBT
people,
rights. They're trying to take away science education in schools. They're trying to put creation science into it. That's stupid.
right?
See,
And so can
your
people
beliefs can
who
influence my
believe that
life
the
in a
earth
good way.
is flat. Do you go around trying to convince them? No, they also get a vote. So and in the same
Yeah,
breath,
that's what,
Republic.
but I do debate these things because I care about the truth, and everybody should care about the truth, especially in today's world where we live in a society based in science. We should care about what's true because if we don't, we're going to collapse.
We
The
also live
economy depends
in
on
a
understanding of
democracy.
reality.
We also live in a democracy, which means everybody has the right to believe whatever they believe,
I
and
agree.
they
I
have the
agree.
right
I
to vote
agree.
for it.
Yes, yes, I agree. You have the right to believe what you want, but you don't have the right to take away my rights because of your stupid beliefs that are false.
I do have the right because I have a vote.
Yeah, but
I'm
your
not
vote can
saying
be
I'm
misinformed.
not
Your
saying
vote can be misinformed. Hence, you can take away my rights when you don't have to, when you could have not done that. You could make mistakes with your beliefs. That's why I care about the truth. Because in order to be accurate, in order to be in a world where peace and we are happy and peaceful and prosperous, we need to be accurate with what we believe.
so. Then why would you advocate for people to stop believing instead of for people to believe
I
in
don't
God and
advocate that you
not?
stop. I'm not here trying to say that you should not believe in God. What I'm saying is we should think more before we believe in God. We should think about the beliefs we hold before we believe them. That's all I advocate for. If
But
you
then
have
you
a
wouldn't
problem
be
with
here
that,
trying to
if you have a problem
debunk.
with this, what is your problem with me?
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a
So why
problem
are
with.
you here complaining and not giving an argument? This is
Okay,
precisely why I
when I
debate, because of people like you who don't have good arguments.
okay, let me finish. Oh,
No,
basically,
you're good.
okay.
Give an argument or go away. If you don't understand why I'm debating, then go away. You could scroll away. Hey, what do you got? Notice how Christians and Muslims always complain. They always complain about me. They never give arguments. They never give evidence. I wonder why. I wonder why.
So,
Hey, what do you got?
so you believe that there is no God on
How old are you?
purpose.
How old are
What?
you?
What'd you say?
How old are you?
20.
What year were
20
you
years
born?
old.
What year were you born?
2002.
Okay.
Like,
Um, Yeah, so yeah, there's no evidence for God. So would you have any evidence for God?
Yeah. So what I believe is that, and it's also truth, is that statistically, the chance of events that unfold, you know, that we are so perfectly placed in the universe at this current point, you know, they call them phenomenons, right? But
No,
what
no.
I view them
How
as
did
is
you
I base,
determine how did you determine that we are perfectly placed?
well, because we are placed in the area that allows us to harbor life, and in the solar system, we're the only that's able to harbor life, and water.
We're also placed in a spot where we get skin cancer and people get diseases and people die and people get starve to death. Is that good? Is that perfect too?
Well, no, I never said that. I never
Okay,
said
good.
that.
So then how
I
do you know
believe
it's
that.
perfect? How do you know that we're perfect?
Well, I hang on, because I said we're perfect in the sense that we are able to harbor complex life forms where there's unicellular and
What?
multicellular organisms.
So let's
So,
so you're saying the only reason why we're perfect is because there's complex life. Well, how about this? What if there was a world where there were complex living beings on there, but they only lived to about 2 years old and they all got cancer and they all had miserable lives and there was constant war and famine and disease while they were alive? Is that a
mhm.
perfect world to you?
Well, no, I don't think that in a world with chaos, death, and disease, I don't think that that's a perfect world. But
Okay, great. So then
I,
how
I
can you
also,
say, so then how can you possibly say that this position we're in is perfect?
I never said, I said in the sense that we are, that we have seasons, a functional planet, almost
So
functional.
what? What do
So
you
I
mean
believe,
functional?
hang on, hang on,
Just because we
hang
can
on.
function does not mean there is somebody intending this to be this way. We know
Okay.
that we evolved with the conditions of the earth. It's not that we were placed here by some cosmic chess player, but we actually evolved with the conditions of the earth. We adapted to the earth under certain parameters. And that's why we're able to exist here, barely hanging on. Is a very hard thing to come by on Earth. That's why most species that have ever lived are now extinct and dead and never coming back. Because
Okay.
Earth is not a place where life goes to thrive, it's where they go to
Because
die.
there's a cycle of life. I'm with you on that. I'm
Okay,
with you
great.
on that.
That,
So I,
so how do you know that this is perfect and that somebody had to do this?
well, I believe to say that this is coincidental, like it's a coincidental event, it's exceedingly relative. The chance that, that we are placed in a spot that is harboring life and we
How
have
did
the
you
ability
determine the
to,
chances? How did you
um,
determine that? How did you
we're in the
determine that
position
chance?
to,
We only have one universe. How can you possibly assess the probability of us being here when we only have one universe? We only have one subject. How can we possibly assess the probability? When I'm counting the probability of dice, right, rolling a pair of dice, what I look at, I can count all the numbers on the different sides, and I can count that if I roll the number one, I have a 1 out of 6 probability of getting a one, right? Because there's 4 sides, or there's 6 sides, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to the universe, we only have one universe. We don't have all the possible states of a universe that we know can exist. We only know that one possible universe. So how can we assess the probability of us being here?
well, because they have looked for, they've sent satellites out and they've sent spacecraft out and they haven't found, and they've traveled beyond um our our galaxy, beyond the Milky Way, and
No,
they
no, we
haven't
have
found,
not. We have not traveled across the Milky Way galaxy. That's ridiculous. We
they
haven't
have
even passed our solar
they
system,
wait,
sir.
hang on. What I'm saying is I believe that your idea of there's no God is because no one else can prove it. But just because you can't prove something doesn't mean it's not real.
Sure,
And
but it doesn't.
so
You can,
so
but it doesn't give you a right to believe in it without any evidence. It does not give you the right to believe. There's no credence to it, which means you don't have a right to believe it. If you believe in this God, you're being dishonest.
to who?
Yourself and the people around you.
Okay, so because we want to believe in a higher power, because people
Yeah,
want to have
because you
faith,
have no
people
evidence
want
for
to
this.
have
You
security.
have no evidence for this shit,
Okay.
and you just admitted it.
Thank you, Miss Alvis, for the gift. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't have if you're saying that I don't have evidence, then fine. Okay. Then give me a piece of evidence that you can say to disprove that there isn't God. If you can do that, then I'll say okay.
Well, it depends on what you believe God is. If you think God is
Okay.
all good, why is there evil if God exists?
Okay, so you're asking a question back at me, and you're trying to use my logic against me, but I'm asking you the same question. What is your evidence that God doesn't exist?
Yeah,
If you're
I'm
going
trying to point out a logical inconsistency in your view. When I ask you, is God all good? My response hinges on your definition for what God is.
You're
If I
saying
don't
that
know what
God
God
isn't
is, I
real
can't
because
give a
there's death, there's
hold on,
chaos,
sir.
there's
Stop, stop,
destruction,
stop, stop. If I don't know what stupid God you believe in, how can I debunk it? I
oh,
need to know what
stupid
God
God,
you believe in. What God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior.
Okay, is that Jesus God all good?
Yes,
Okay, great. So
he,
why is there evil? Why is there evil in the world if God is all good?
because he died forgive the sins of the sinners, but doesn't mean that people don't sin.
Okay, let me ask
Other
the question
people sin,
again.
and that's
Why?
not Jesus's fault that other
Why?
people sin.
Okay.
Not
Is,
everybody is
okay,
good,
great. Sir, does Jesus does so you're saying we sin, therefore there's bad, right? We sin with our free will.
which is our fault, not the fault of God.
It's our
Yes.
fault because we have free will, right? We can choose it.
Mhm.
Okay. Does Jesus have free will?
Arrive at your point. I don't understand what point you're trying to make.
Can you just answer the question, please? Does God have free will?
Yes,
Okay. Does God ever choose evil action? Does God ever choose to sin?
no,
Why not?
because he is all good. And
So then why couldn't God make us good such that we never sin, just like God?
because we are finite, imperfect organisms. God is not. We are
How does
not
that follow?
more
How does that
powerful than.
follow? I'm saying God could have made us all good such that we never sin. Could he not done that?
I guess he could have. In an alternate universe, maybe there are.
Then you just conceded that evil is unnecessary.
Yeah, but how does that relate to your point of him being imaginary? Because
I just debunked your God. You said God is all good, but there's evil. Hence,
okay.
if there's evil in the world, evil is unnecessary.
Okay, so no if
And a
statements.
good
So
God
give me a piece of.
and a good God would never allow evil to exist. When
Okay.
it's unnecessary.
Okay, so God isn't real because God wouldn't allow evil to exist, and because there's evil, there's no God. That's
Right.
your argument. That's
Right.
your argument.
Yeah. Absolutely. You think that God is all good, and I just showed you that he can't be all good because there's evil. That's unnecessary.
But just because there's evil doesn't mean that there. You twisted my words and tried to use them against me. It didn't work. You know.
Okay,
I
great.
know
Then
that.
correct it. Let's hear it. Let's hear your correction.
Well, you didn't even let me speak. You kept cutting me off every time I tried to make a point. You'd cut me off, but then when I try to speak, you cut me off and
Okay,
wouldn't
then
let me
hurry
talk.
up and then just give the refutation.
I'm refuting your point about how you're saying that because there's evil in this world, there's no God. People can
argument. Where's your argument against me?
That people can be evil and that there is still a higher power because we sinned and he forgave our sins. People are sinners.
All right. You
So
didn't understand anything I just told you then. You didn't understand anything I said. You're just running in circles. That's what I just told you. That's what I debunked from the get-go.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, what do you got?
So I'm not religious. I grew up in a very religious family. I don't personally believe in a God, but I think your question, your argument saying is God is imaginary based on people's faith.
I don't give a shit about faith. Faith is stupid. It's useless. I care about evidence and facts, not stupid faith.
Mikey, you're so sexy. Oh my.
Thank you.
I love
All right. Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping. Let's get some more people.
Hello,
How old are you?
I'm 21.
All right, what do you got?
I just wanted to follow up from what you were asking the other person who couldn't reply to you. I would say, so I'm Muslim, and we don't believe that whatever he was saying, that God forgives all our sins. This world is meant to be a test for us to see if we will choose to do
Okay.
good
All
things.
right. I don't care about your apologetics. I don't give a shit about your Muslim apologetics. I want evidence or data for God. Do you have any reason to believe in your God or not?
Yeah, the Quran.
A book of fables? A book that says that people can live to 900 years old and they can build boats with all the animals
Where
on it
does it
shipped
ever
across
say
the
you can
world
live to
and land
900
on the
years? Have you
mountaintop?
ever read it?
Yeah, that's why I'm an atheist, because the Quran is ridiculous. It's a book of mythology.
It's
Talk-
never said you can live till 900 years old.
Yes, it is. Noah lived to 900 years old. It's in the Quran.
If you read it properly, I don't know. Can you please tell me where it says that?
Sure, I can find the verse for you, sure, but more importantly, do you believe in Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark and all that stuff? You believe in a global flood? These are impossibilities.
I feel like your evidence for, I don't know. It's just like there are loads of, if you've read it and you've understood it, there are so many things that it couldn't have predicted that now are true, that later on people have found out are true.
Okay, then give an
So,
example.
like, would you just say it's coincidence?
Give an example of something it prophesies that came true, ma'am.
So, for example, in one of the verses, it says that the ants spoke to each other, and it didn't even have to say the word speak. There's so many words it could have said: communicate, signal, all of these things. But now, literally recently, I think like this year, scientists have found out that no, ants do actually speak to each other, like with words, right? And no one, why would anyone 1,500 years ago think that
Ants
ants
don't
speak?
speak with words. That's ridiculous. Ants,
Not
you
with
think ants speak
English
with
words,
words?
but they speak to each other, not with like vibrations and stuff, but with actual sounds.
Okay, well, the Quran actually says that the ants spoke Arabic to each other.
No, it
That's what the
doesn't.
Quran
No, it
literally
doesn't.
says.
Please, please.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't say they spoke Arabic.
Yes, it does. Here,
I'm just trying to read the comments, but I'm not sure what.
no, don't read the comments. Just let's stay part of the conversation. Ants spoke. I can't believe you're making me do this. I
And you
have to
still
I
haven't
have to
given
read
me
the
the
Quran
900
for
years
you.
one.
So 27:16 says when they came across the valley of ants, an ant warned, "Oh, ants, go quickly into your homes, so Solomon and his armies do not crush you unknowingly." This is in the Quran, and it says that ants spoke to each other Arabic, saying
Where
that
did it say? Where did
hide
it say
behind
Arabic?
the
Sorry. Where did it say Arabic?
27:18.
You literally didn't say the word Arabic.
They spoke words. They spoke human words.
Obviously, they're not gonna. The Quran isn't gonna write ant language for us to read. It's gonna write a language that we understand that the ants are speaking to each other. It's like saying,
That
"Oh,
doesn't make
they
sense.
spoke," and then
That
it
doesn't make
starts
sense.
writing ant
That
language.
doesn't
How
make
the hell are
sense.
we meant to do that?
It says an ant warned, quote, "Oh, ants, go quickly into your homes." This is a quotation. They were talking in Arabic.
No, imagine a storybook for kids where the bear spoke to their child. It's not gonna write in bear language. It's gonna write it in a language where, as a reader, we understand what it's saying.
Ants don't speak any words. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree they don't
Okay, great.
speak Arabic or
So then
words
either
that
this
we
verse is
understand, but there's
either this. I can't do this anymore. This is the stupidest conversation. What do you got?
All right, so I just want to straight up
Hell
say,
no. Hell no. Go away.
What's up? What's up?
How old are you?
16. What about it?
All right. Go watch Barney.
Huh?
Go watch Barney. All right. What do you got?
Yo, what's going on, Mike?
Yeah. What's your argument?
I I don't know. I saw the live kind of interesting, dude. I saw that God is imaginary. And the title
Wow,
is
you
"Can
can
you prove
read.
me
Great.
wrong?"
What's your argument? Hurry up, sir.
Yeah, I'm asking you for your reasoning as to why God is imaginary, so maybe I can refute you,
There's no
or
evidence
at least
for it.
prove you wrong.
No evidence for it. What's your proof? What's your evidence for God?
Well, that's just fallacious. You're just saying lack of evidence, therefore, that's somehow proof that he doesn't exist.
No, what I'm saying
You
is
see, do
it's
you have?
most. See, when I say God's imaginary, what I'm saying is it's most likely not real because there's no evidence for it. That's my position. Now, do you have evidence for God or not?
Okay, so you refute the position. I mean, you just okay, fine, yeah, we have no contention then. Go ahead.
So you have no evidence for God?
Oh no, I have, I guess, reasons for why I believe in God.
Great. Give us your best reason.
All right. Yeah, I would use something like the contingency, Mike. Like at
Okay.
least like there's different formulations of it. I'd probably use
Yeah.
something like Taylor's or Bruce's.
Yeah. I mean, the universe can be necessary. What's the contradiction in a necessary universe?
Well, yeah, like this is literally, I'm not kidding you. I'm about to get on the subway, but we can continue this conversation another time. But the issue with the universe being the necessary being is, well, the universe is going to be subject to change. Intrinsic changes within the universe, necessary beings cannot go, or at least undergo
Yeah, we can just reject that. We can just say
changes.
we can just reject that. We can just say the universe does not change, and it doesn't
So
necessarily
there's,
change.
so you would say that there's no change in the universe. Like when you die,
I would say that
is there any
change.
change in the universe?
I would say that the universe itself does not change. Things within it can change, right? There's causality within the universe. That's an emergent phenomenon. The universe itself does not necessarily change. The universe can be modeled as a four-dimensional block universe where where time and space are infinitely static.
What's the difference between what's in the universe and what is the universe? Isn't the like what's in the universe just gonna be the
Well,
composite? Literally, my subway's here. I have to go. Sorry.
yeah, so we can view the universe as just one entity, right? One space-time, one four-dimensional block. That's the point, right? The things within it can be contained and that is can change, sure, but the universe itself, the container for all that reality, does not necessarily have to change and can be infinite. Hey, what do you got?
Hello there.
Hey, what's your argument?
I don't have an argument, I just have a question. I mean, why do you believe in the universe?
Because we can observe it.
Sorry, what is the universe for you?
Space, time, and matter.
So you are believing only in what you touch and see?
Yeah, it's called empiricism.
Okay, that's why you cannot see God. Because you are dependent on your five senses.
That's why you can't see Spaghetti Monster. We have to use our seventh senses to see
I'm
Spaghetti
talking to
Monster.
you with
See, Spaghetti
respect.
Monster
If
is
you
beyond our
don't know
senses, man.
respect, just
I don't
don't
need to
talk to
respect
me.
your
Okay,
beliefs, man. Your
bye-bye.
beliefs are ridiculous. Where's your evidence of your God? If you have no reason to believe it, then I can use the
Evidence is
same
not for
argument
you.
against you.
Evidence is not for you. You keep believing in your five senses, okay?
Okay, great. To demonstrate that we have six senses.
God cannot be sensed with your five senses.
So then
It
how do
should be a
then
belief.
how do you know he's there?
I can sense it in my heart, but you cannot. No, you laugh
How
at
do you
me, I
how do
laugh
you
at you
sense it
as
in
well.
ma'am, how do you sense it in your heart?
I cannot explain it. It's a belief. You
It's
don't
a
know how
belief.
to believe.
I
You
can
don't
feel it.
know
Wait,
how to
I can feel
believe.
it too. I can feel it too. Oh, that's God. Oh,
You're
I feel the
believing in the
tingles.
universe. What the universe
Oh,
is
I feel the
doing?
tingles.
It's created.
Ma'am, this is ridiculous.
How do you believe in
How
the
do
universe?
you?
Does it talk to you? Do
We
you
can
touch it?
measure it. I can measure shit. Look, it drops. That's gravity.
It doesn't do
Oh my
anything.
God.
It's just a bottle.
We can observe it.
You
We
can
can
observe
see
it.
it. We can see it.
that doesn't make you live. You can just use it for drinking water. It's
All
just
right,
a
man. Have a good
thing.
day. I'm praying for you. Hope you get lots of noodles and spaghetti monsters heaven. Ah, hope you get many meatballs in spaghetti heaven. Many
Hey,
noodles. What do you got?
I can't prove you wrong. I'm very intrigued with this because like, I was indoctrined as a kid, so I'm like, I teach kids now, and I never.
Guys, this isn't Dr. Phil, okay? You don't have to tell us your life story. Just get to the arguments, please. Hey, what do you got? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
I'm going to prove to you that God is not is imaginary.
No, sir. Just, do you believe in God?
All day, every day, twice on Sundays.
Right.
No.
What's your evidence for God? How do you know God's there?
Because I went through a whole bunch of depression in my life when I had lost my mother, and I tried a lot of things. I tried medication. I tried doctors. I tried everything to pull me into a place where I was happy again. And a little backstory.
No, please, hold on, please. Can you just tell us how you know God exists?
Hey.
We don't want to hear your backstory. We want to hear the evidence that you know God made you feel better and not just yourself or something you believe in.
Well, there you go. It's what I believe in. Just because
Okay, great. So if I believe in unicorns and that makes me feel good, right? I can sit here and imagine a fantasy world with mushrooms and unicorns and women. Like, I can do that. Does that make it good because I feel good about that? Does that make it real?
Of course, it's not real. It's just something. But this is the thing. There's
So just because you believe in something that makes you feel good doesn't make it true, right?
No, it is. You're using a unicorn. I'm using something I'm using a Bible. That's evidence.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
The difference is that God, He pulls me out of this. He pulled me out of my depression.
How do you know? How do you know this?
Because I tried doctors. I tried medication. I tried everything that people say, oh yeah, try seeing a doctor, it'll work. Try taking medication, it'll work. Let me explain.
Hold on.
I'm trying to prove to you.
Sir, doctors are not like magicians. They don't have every solution to everything. They don't know everything, and we don't know everything about the human body yet. We're still learning about it. So just because doctors don't know something doesn't mean God did it. There could be other explanations behind this. Maybe you helped yourself. Maybe there is a way we can help ourselves. Maybe you tranced yourself. Maybe you hypnotize yourself into believing things that make you feel better or suppress the symptoms of depression. These are all possibilities that we have to actually assess before we just say, oh, it's God, it's God. We need to assess all the possibilities.
All right, let me tell you this. You just said everything right now that those are possibilities. Okay, and that's your opinion. But when me personally, I chose to start reading the Bible. I started choosing. Hold on, I chose to read the Bible.
I don't care.
Well,
How do you
that's
know
your problem. That's your problem. You don't care. But I'm trying to tell you something about the Bible.
I care about truth. How do you know that God is helping you? I don't want your beliefs or your opinions. I don't care. I want to know how you know God helped you. And if you can't demonstrate that, we have no reason to believe you. We can dismiss you as crazy. So either give me evidence or go away. This is your last shot.
How is it an opinion if it's true what happened? That's
how do you know it's true?
Because I went through it. I felt it. I did everything that the Bible said for me to do. Hold on. I did everything that the Bible told me to do, and I believed. And in the Bible it says for you to believe. Have faith, have trust, have belief.
Stop rambling and preaching, please. I want
Dude,
you
I'm
to
trying to
show
give you
me.
facts. I'm trying to give you facts, and you're just not accepting my.
You're not giving me facts. You're giving me feelings. That's the point you're not getting. You can't just sit here and give feelings and opinions all day long. I know you're convinced. I know you're convicted in your belief. I understand that. But the problem is nobody else is. So it's your task to demonstrate that you actually are correct and true. You can't claim truth without having evidence for it. Hey, what do you got?
Man, so I just came in the middle of it. So I'm not too, so the question is, can you prove? So what kind of evidence are you looking for? That's the question. Any question? Okay. Well, I mean, this is how I came to it, right? So I was never a believer of God. So I did. Can I share my testimony? Is that okay with you?
Make it very short and quick, sir. To the
Yes,
point.
sir. Okay. So I used to be an atheist, didn't believe in God. I thought God was imaginary. It's for weak-minded people, uneducated people. My parents are Buddhists, and they did the whole 360. So I learned at a young age that God is fake. God is just imaginary for people to have hope.
So get to your point. Get to the point.
So my point is, I lived a life of recklessness, overdose on
No, come
drugs.
on. Stop with the. Where's your evidence for God? Just get to the evidence.
Evidence will be Jesus Christ, that he's a real figure, that many people died for him, got crucified for him, got burned alive.
No. You know nothing of this sort. You don't have any evidence of
There's
Jesus
history
or
about it, man.
God.
There's more history of Jesus Christ than any Roman, whatever
Really?
artifacts that we have,
Where's
or
this?
Egyptian
Okay,
artifact that we
great. So
have.
give me a source. Give me a source where the history is for Jesus. Contemporary sources.
So I'm losing connection.
Oh, how convenient.
So I'll send you a link. So I'll send you a link.
One
This guy,
source.
he goes to colleges and he preaches
No,
with
I don't want
evidence.
your preacher's garbage. Give me one source, one contemporary source that demonstrates Jesus was a real person and did miracles and that people died for him.
Yeah, there's historical facts about. If you do the research, man, you can find it, dude.
I did the research. And guess what? All you have is a Bible. That's your only piece of data for Jesus. That's the only thing that mentions Jesus. Nothing else does. Everything else is interpretation or coming after the fact.
So you think Christianity just became because it was a good story and people want to believe and die for it? Would you die for a fake story?
So people back then did not die for Jesus. There's no evidence that they died for Jesus. But more importantly, yes, if people were willing to die like the Mayans for their gods, people 2,000 years ago were crazy. They believed in all kinds of wizards and ghouls and demons. They were out of their minds, right? So what they believed back then, we would see that as crazy today. So you have to recognize the context in the situation that these people were in 2,000 years ago. They were martyrs. There were many martyrs for many different cults and many different religions. Yours is not special. Your religion is no special than any other religion out there.
Okay, so what do you believe in? So you don't believe in a God, you just believe that this world came to be? Is that what you're saying?
Have a good day, sir. The moment you say, what do I believe in, is the moment you fail at giving a good argument for your God. Next.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
All right, I got an interesting thing here. You've probably never been hit with this kind of angle before, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so if you say God is imaginary, can't we both agree that you basically rebuke the one main building block in science, which is cause and effect?
That's not a building block of science. That's not a building block of science. Causality is an emergent phenomenon. It does not apply to the universe. It only applies to things within space and time. In fact, quantum mechanics it doesn't apply to quantum mechanics either. There's no such thing as causality in quantum mechanics. In fact, there's something called superposition, where you can have multiple states existing at the same time. You don't need causality in any scientific fundamental model of the universe. It's an emergent phenomenon at the very most. So no, cause and effect does not mean there's a God.
Okay. So, I've heard a lot of different things. So, do you think that we were created from like, particles, and then, those things turned into those, and then those things turned into other
Do
things.
you have an argument for your magic sky daddy or not?
Well, I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Get to it now. Hurry up.
You think that like the particles and stuff are what we, were, and then we became this, right?
Particles, sir. We are made of particles right now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just making sure we're covering ground here. Okay. Now, if you think about it, then couldn't we just say that me and you standing in a room, and across from us there's parts for a table, right? All of a sudden, a curtain goes and blocks our view. What you're saying is that nothing made that table then, rather than if creation demands a creator, where me and you are standing in that same room again.
So listen. Everything around us in the universe seems to be the fact that it assembled through time. Everything is made of atoms and molecules, and these things can interact with each other in certain ways and assemble themselves into certain materials over time. This is called physical evolution, cosmic evolution, right? We have a very good understanding of this in science. Now, there does not need to be somebody making this stuff around us. There could be a natural reason as to why it happened. There could also be an agency behind the universe, sure, but there's no good reason to believe that. All we know is that things happen in nature, and it can be fully explained by nature. You don't need God to explain anything in the universe at all.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, very.
All right, well, thank you, man. Thank you. I just wanted to pick your brain on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, you really picked my brain there. So that was a ball buster. Hey, what do you got?
So, if God isn't real, then how do you explain paranormal activities and like people that get possessed and everything like that? And it has to be done with a priest or pastor or whatever to come and cast out whatever's in that person.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things wrong with this. Firstly, even if there was paranormal activity, it does not mean God exists. That's a non sequitur. It doesn't mean that God exists just because there's something you can't explain. But furthermore, a lot of these scenarios of possessions and demonic activity can be explained by crazy schizophrenic people or people that go through manic episodes, like literal crazy people that are literally mad or they're acting and they put on a camera so you can go, oh, look, well, they're demonically possessed, right? They're filming these things so that people like you that are gullible believe in this shit.
No, I've seen it in person and heard it from stories as well.
Okay, great. What did you see in person that demonstrates that this is actually a god and actually caused by some spiritual thing and not just?
Well, you don't want a story, so how am I going to explain it if you're going to just shut me out?
Yeah, that's the problem. Stories are not evidence.
No, it's a truth from my own parents, which happened.
How do you know it's true? Where's your data for that?
There's nobody analyzes it or puts in data when they cast out a demon out of somebody.
Why do you believe? Why did you not discount all the possibilities first? Hallucinations, acts, games, right? Gimmicks. Maybe they are going through a crazy manic episode. Maybe they are going crazy. Like, how did you discount all the possibilities before you said God?
Because whenever somebody's going through that and stuff like that, everybody in the family, they don't know what's going on. So they look to God or look to a priest or a pastor to come in. And when they cast it out, they have to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. And that's how they cast it out over and over.
Not keep making these dumb claims.
It's not a dumb claim if it's the truth, if it's happened.
Okay. Can we falsify this?
There's studies on it as well, too.
Oh, great. Where's your study?
There's studies on it of pastors, priests, whatever going in and having to cast it out.
Great. Let's see this study that demonstrates that these are actual demons. Where's your study?
Well, how do you want me to prove it? I'm telling you from everything that I've seen and studies and seen that I've read.
Tell us the study.
So if somebody's possessed, the only way to get it out is to use Jesus Christ.
Tell us the study. You said there was a study. Where's your study?
That's the study of it. Well, I can't show you anything. You'd have to look it up yourself to see it.
Wait. Do you know what a study is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's like analyzing and data.
No.
Yes.
It's observation. It's the methodology and the experimentation of it with the analyzation of it. It's all those combined. Do you have that for demons?
A pastor or a priest does, if they have to cast out somebody that's possessed.
No, that your pastor is probably not even serious about this stuff.
So say your mother was possessed.
Your pastor's just as good as you are, sir. The pastor, you can't look to pastor. That's an appeal to authority. I want evidence-based data that demonstrates there's demons. Where is this?
Well, I want your evidence-based data of how you would get it out. What are you going to do? Say you had a family member that was possessed, or you seemed that they were possessed. What would you do?
How do you know they're possessed and not just going through an episode?
Well, how do you know? Nobody knows.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
We don't know.
So I'm saying, what would your options be?
So you have no evidence that they are possessed.
I would see it and I would understand them from what I've heard, and then I'd probably be like, oh, this person's possessed. So now I'm saying is, if you were in the situation where you seen somebody who was possessed, what would you do?
That's a great way to study somebody. Oh yeah, I understand it, therefore it's possessed. That's ridiculous, sir. Actual study and research is using methodology that is testable, repeatable, verifiable.
You don't have to study somebody if they're possessed and doing possession things.
That's the problem.
This
is the problem, sir. People like you are global.
If you kick the wall and your foot hurts, is that a...
Again, what you are observing could be anything. It could be anything. I gave you several different possibilities that you have not discounted yet before you said God. That's the problem here. You can't just look at it and coming from your own preconceived notion of what you're believing in, you're going to say, yeah, that's definitely demon possession. That's fallible. That's fallible, understanding of things. You need more research. You need more data. You need more evidence before you can say what you're saying. How do you know that you're not just being mistaken? That's what you have to account for, which you're not doing.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you got?
I got a question.
No, give us arguments or go away.
Give you arguments or go away. Okay, do you believe in any other religion?
Give me an argument or go away.
Do you believe, I'm asking you a question. Do you believe in any other religion?
It doesn't matter what I believe.
Yo.
Hey, what's your evidence for God?
So, if you say God is imaginary, like, what would you say made up the universe?
There doesn't have to be somebody making the universe. It'd be an
like what made up the universe? Like, what did it? Like, what particles? What atoms? What electrons? Like, what made up the universe?
There could be a quantum field.
Okay, what made that?
It's eternal by definition. There's no cause for it. It's eternal by definition.
Okay, wait, what made that?
It's eternal. There's no making.
What made that?
If it's eternal, it has no maker. It's just there, eternally.
If it's eternal, what made that?
Do you think God is eternal?
Yeah.
Who made that? Who made that? Who made that?
That's a good argument. I like that, actually. He just is, just like the universe just is. It's eternal, man.
Great. We can
Just
just say the
is.
universe. We can just say the universe just exists. This is the problem with your argument. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but like trying to understand what made up the universe and what made that is just like it goes into an infinite loop. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
What's the problem with that? What's the problem with an infinite past?
Because I feel like something has to come up from something. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
it may sound crazy, but like I feel like something has to come up from something.
Feelings are not evidence, right? So where's your actual evidence that this has
Okay,
to
where's your evidence that like, yeah, we have like a understanding on how everything was created,
I
but
don't.
what's your definitive evidence of what made that? You feel me?
Nobody
Like,
knows. All we have is ideas and plausibilities. God
honestly,
is an
like
idea that is not evidenced by any data at all. In fact, it's
at
not
the
even
end of the day,
plausible.
at
But
the end
we
of the day, I agree with you. It all
science.
is just belief. It all is belief.
No. There are something we don't believe in science. We don't believe in things like science that are just models. We don't believe them. We don't hold to them unless there's enough evidence for them. We don't do what you're doing. What you're doing is saying, I don't understand, therefore God. That's not what we do in science. We take a look at all the plausible models and then we evaluate which one's more likely, right? Whatever has more evidence is the more likely model. That's how we distinguish what's true or false in science. We don't just say it must have been God. Yeah, it's okay to not know, right? We don't need all the answers. We don't have all the answers. It's okay to not know. But just because we don't know doesn't mean God did it. It's not all we have. There are things in the universe that we know are facts. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
What do you got?
Hello, can you hear me?
Keep tapping, guys. Thank you. Keep tapping. Hey, what do you got?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you speak, please?
Um, if you say Jesus, if you say God is imaginary, how then can you prove it that it's not?
What?
How can you prove it's not?
All right. Have a good day, sir. Enjoy your day. Let's have the next guy in here.
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, what do
So,
you got?
do you believe in the flood?
What do you
No.
mean the flood?
So
What are you
we
talking
have
about?
evidence for the flood on how on Mount
What,
Ararat there
what
was
flood? What flood, sir? What flood?
evidence in the map that we have today that there was a boat-sized like indent on Mount Ararat.
Where's your scientific source for this?
It's literally everywhere. You can go look it up. There's science
Where's
that
your scientific source for a big fucking boat?
why hasn't the world flooded again? If there was a flood, why hasn't the world flooded again?
It doesn't flood. It never flooded to begin with.
Flood. It has flood.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because there's an indent in the map. You can go look at the map today, and around Mount Ararat, there's an indent of a boat.
So because there's a small hill, you think that means God did it?
There's an indent on the mountain.
That can be explained by many things, sir. By plate tectonics, erosion, weathering, meteorite impacts. That can all be explained by those things.
Let me go to another subject. Do you see people like Doja Cat, right? And how she praises the devil?
What? There is no devil, sir. Where's your evidence of a devil?
Okay, so why does Doja Cat praise him? And why does she want
It's
to
a fucking video. It's a music video, sir. Where's your evidence of that?
what about people like Kanye and other people who praise Satan? What does that have to do with?
Where's your evidence of Satan?
What do you mean? I said there's evidence of people saying praise Satan. Even Netflix have come out and said praise.
Oh my gosh. These people can vote. These people can vote. It's a word. It's a saying.
Hello?
It's not real. There's no fucking Satan.
Hello?
Yeah, what do you got?
Do you mind if I actually ask a question? Also, I hope you had a good day so far. My bad. I don't know. What questions do you have, or what?
Next.
What's up, man?
Yeah. What do you got?
Man, I just watched your fucking thing and I just got pulled up. You can just kick me if you want.
Next. Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping.
How's it, buddy?
What do you got?
Okay, yes, you are correct. And everything that we see on TV about religion,
Satan teamed up with Doja Cat. Hey, what do you got?
Yeah, hi. I just want to say to you, I not believe in God. I
Next.
Oh,
How old are you?
I'm 17.
All right, go watch Barney.
Wait,
Barney loves you. He loves me. All right, let's see who else we got in this room. Wait. Hey, what do you got? Hmm.
Hey, Mike
Hello?
McAnthony.
What do you got?
Yeah, my proof is you. You're God, man. You want it all. You know it all. You're atheist. You're a fucking.
I'm better than your God for sure. I'll be a way better God than your God will ever be. Hey, what do you got?
Yo, hello.
What's your argument today?
Well, there's been like so many videos put out of like miracles like actually happening. Like, are you familiar with the Eucharist? Like the act of Eucharist, like communion?
Yeah, it's not a real miracle, sir.
No, but like there's actually been like proof that it's actually been transferred into like actual flesh as the sacrament happened.
No, that's garbage. So they've actually done studies on these things, and guess what? It's just like fungus that builds up in the Eucharist. It's literally fungus that looks like skin and looks like blood. It's not really blood.
You can just kick me out. Then that was my only argument.
Okay. Wow, that's really, really sad.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, what do you got?
I've got a story. I died. I know God exists.
Wow. Great. What's your evidence?
On a Man TT motorcycle racing, I got hit by a motorbike at 160 miles an hour, fractured skull, bleed on the pontine and a bleed in the brainstem, stopped my heart, and I was brain dead for 2 minutes, and I got sent back. Was told I'd been good enough. I was good. I'd been good, but I hadn't been good enough. I needed to be nice to people in need.
Okay.
God's real. I've met God.
Okay. So first of all, I'm happy you're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thankful you're alive. The problem is that when we assess these scenarios where people get in accidents or in trauma and their heart stops beating, these are called near-death experiences. And we've done lots of studies on these things, and it shows that typically when your heart stops beating, your brain at least is somehow active for about 10 minutes. In these moments, hold on. In these moments, your brain can release certain chemicals that make you have these hallucinations, like dopamine, DMT. All these things can give and yield hallucinations that make you feel certain ways and give you certain dreams. So
they do.
As much as you want to believe that you met God, there's no reason to believe that when we have better explanations for it.
Well, the thing is, I met God, but God is not what's depicted in religion. So
you can't just keep saying you met God. You have to give us evidence for this, right? And
I can't.
You just ignored everything I just told you.
No, because in terms of so I had the accident. I didn't die until I was in hospital, and I was on a monitor. My brain waves, my heart stopped and breathing stopped because the messages from my brainstem were being blocked by the bleed in the brainstem. Yeah. So I asked, was this anoxia? Because I wanted to know whether it was just pure anoxia, whether my brain was going into, but I went through a period of that and then no brain activity whatsoever. I opened my eyes just before they issued the 7th.
I understand, sir. I understand, but how did you discount the possibility of it being a hallucination? How did you discount the possibility that it is just a near-death experience that is explained through something natural? How did you discount that? You can't just keep saying God, God, God. As much as you want to believe it, there's no reason to believe it.
Yeah, the experience wasn't meeting God; it was also meeting all of the others, asking where.
Guys, before you believe in something, make sure you have good reasons to believe it. Make sure that it's not explained by something natural. Or can't be. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's your argument today?
I want to tell you some evidence about like the Gospels and how they're actually true when it comes to like Jesus and
The Gospels are garbage. They're made up garbage, right? They're just
How do you know
stories
that?
that are not, they're not contemporary. They're not eyewitness accounts. They're just stories that somebody wrote down in a book. I want actual evidence for God and evidence and data.
All right. So when you know the Roman ruler at the time when Jesus was alive, people working under him were writing letters, and there's still letters that are still like that people have to this day writing about the Son of God who is preaching about, and that's what Jesus called himself in the Bible. There's
Yeah,
tons of stuff.
many people thought they were the son of gods. Mithras, Horus, all kinds of made up gods that said the same shit that your
Yeah,
belief
but
says.
it wouldn't have said the same. It
Sir,
wouldn't,
please give me evidence that there's a God. I don't care about a guy who died on a stick. I want evidence of a God.
yeah, but Jesus did many. First of all, Jesus is, and he said himself, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life,"
I
declaring
don't
that he
believe
is
it.
God.
So did Charles Manson.
And
I don't care. Anybody can say
he's
God.
done
How
many
do you know that yours is
miracles
correct, sir?
proving that he is God. He's done many miracles proving that he is God. He's literally predicted the future. He's done everything that he said he would do.
Sir, can you
And he's
stop
also
talking and
declared
stop
that he is
yapping and
God.
give me a piece of data for this? Give me evidence.
I'm giving you evidence, bro. The Gospels are
You're just
literally good
preaching. You're just
evidence. You
preaching,
just
sir.
haven't
Give me
researched it as
evidence.
well. You haven't researched the Gospels good enough. Be
No,
real
sir,
with you.
you haven't, because you would, if you read the Gospels, you know that there are
The
multiple
eyewitnesses.
contradictions in
No,
them. There's
listen, bro.
contradictions in the Gospels.
Listen,
The
bro.
Bible's a bunch of garbage.
No, it's
Genesis
not.
is
Why
stupid.
are you lying, though? The Gospels are literally good eyewitnesses. Why
No, they're not. Give
yes,
me a
they
source
are.
that says that.
They've been
Give me a source that
translated.
demonstrates that
They've
these are
been
eyewitness
translated
accounts.
faithfully. They've been translated faithfully and
Oh
properly.
my
And
God, I can't. He's just yapping and yapping. This is not a debate. Hey, what do you got?
Hello. So you obviously believe God doesn't exist. I wanted to know, where do you think we come from?
Who said we come from somewhere? We don't.
So you think we just come from nothing? Can nothing come from something?
We could have always existed in some way.
Can you prove that?
No, I can't prove it, but it's a possibility that you're discounting for no reason.
Because because something has, okay, we can't just exist forever. Something had to happen for us to exist.
Why? How do you know that?
Because nothing can come from something. That's impossible.
I don't believe that, sir. What I'm saying is that we could have always existed. Is that not a possibility?
No, because nothing could come from nothing.
No,
like, that makes no sense.
Listen.
There has to be like a starting point.
Hold on. The universe could have always existed.
But it didn't. That's proven. There was a Big Bang.
The Big Bang's the Big Bang's not the origin.
What was before that?
There might not be before the Big Bang, sir.
Before that, to me, I believe before that there was God, and God caused the Big Bang.
I don't give a shit what you believe, sir. I don't give a shit what you believe. Give me evidence of a God.
Being disrespectful. But okay.
Oh, you're gonna cry because I debunked your belief? I'm sorry, sir, but your belief is trash and garbage.
No, but I'm just saying, there's no need to for cuss words, sir. You're a grown man. You feel me?
This is my fucking live. Is your God gonna cry because I said an F word? I'm sorry, sir.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying you're
God or go
a grown man. But I'm trying to. But I'm telling you, there's okay. So what is your proof that there was something before the Big Bang? Because there's proof there was.
I never said there was, sir.
There's scientific proof. No, because your argument is God doesn't exist and there was something before the Big Bang. Okay,
no,
and that
sir.
something before the Big Bang is God.
Can you listen for a second, please? There are three possibilities. The universe could have always existed. In that sense, there was nothing before it. It was just always there. The Big Bang could have been the Big Bang.
That's already proven, disproven, because the Big Bang existed.
What's the Big Bang? What is the Big Bang?
A Big Bang is something, I'm not a scientist, I don't know how to explain it, but the Big Bang happened. It was scientifically proven.
No, sir. If you don't know what you're talking about, you have no place in this debate. So either give me tell us what you know, what you think the Big Bang is, or go away. Because I know you don't.
Okay, I got a question. Did the Big Bang happen?
No. Answer the question. What is the Big Bang?
Big Bang happen, my brother?
What is the Big Bang, sir?
A Big Bang was something that caused the universe to exist. Did the Big Bang happen?
That's incorrect. That is incorrect.
So what is the Big Bang? You tell me.
Great. Let me educate you now, since you don't
Okay,
know anything you're
educate me.
talking about.
Educate me.
Big Bang is the expansion of a pre-existing universe, space and
No,
time.
no.
It went from a hotter, denser state to a larger, colder state. And that's the Big Bang. It has no bearing on the beginning. It has no bearing on the origins of the universe at all.
Bro, that's literally how the universe started.
No, it
Every
is not. Then,
scientist
then
says
give
that.
then give me a
Bring
source
me a
that says
scientist that doesn't say that.
Sean Carroll, Michio Kaku, Brian Greene. I can go on and on forever, Cher. Brian Cox, Lawrence Krauss.
Okay, so what is your proof of that? I'm saying I have proof the Big Bang.
In science, we
the
don't have
last known thing that started the universe.
listen. We don't have proof in science. Proof is different than evidence, and evidence is different from probability. Plausibility.
I'm saying we have proof science.
Hold on. In science, we have models, we have theories. These are plausible scenarios that describes reality. We don't have proof of an infinite universe. We don't have proof of that, but it's a plausibility. It does not defy any science or logical laws. That's why it's a plausible scenario that we can't discount. And if you do discount it, you're being illogical. So either give me a contradiction in an eternal universe or go away, because you have no point.
Bro, my point is we have proof a Big Bang happened, and that's when time started for us.
No, it is not necessarily.
So we have no other scientific. You were talking about science. I'm bringing you science, and you're still trying to go against the science.
Listen, the Big Bang could be a phase in which the universe goes through. It does not mean that it is the beginning of everything. It could be a phase, just like everything else in the universe.
Do you have proof? Do you have proof that the universe was always existing? That's why I'm trying to ask you. You can't bring me proof. I could bring you proof that the Big Bang might have started.
I can't debate people who don't know what proof is, or the Big Bang. You don't have a place in this debate. I'm sorry. I don't need proof. I explained this to you. I don't need proof that the universe is infinite. I'm not saying that I know for a fact it is. I'm saying it's a possibility. It's a very good plausibility that you can't discount. You have to account for that in your understanding of the universe. You can't just say, "Oh, that's not possible because I don't like it." That's what irrationality is. It's very likely, it's very possible that the universe is infinite. You don't need God for that. You don't need God for any model in science. Even if the Big Bang happened and is the beginning, it does not mean that God did it. Please learn about the Big Bang before you come up here and try to debate it.
This is completely a meaningless argument because there's no proof either way God is real.
There is. And this is not a meaningless argument because guess what? We're learning how to think critically here in these debates. We're learning about what we believe and why we believe these things. So maybe just because you don't understand what debates are and how debates happen does not mean that they're useless or meaningless. What's meaningless is to sit there and be silent and never converse with anybody and be stuck in your little bubble. That's what's meaningless. Part of being a skeptic is being comfortable with the uncomfortable, being comfortable with the mystery of the universe, being comfortable with having your beliefs dismantled in front of you. You have to be comfortable with this. It's part of being an honest skeptic. If you can't honestly bring your ideas out to the drawing board or to the cutting table, you have no place in understanding reality correctly. Hello?
Can you prove to us that God is imaginary?
Yeah, first of all, there's no evidence of a God, so that's a good reason to not believe in a God. But we also have the omniparadoxes, the logical inconsistencies in many versions of God, the problem of evil, divine hiddenness. These are reasons why there's no God.
These are not data that prove that God is imaginary, you know?
You can't just say that, sir. So, do you think God is all good?
Of course, God is all good.
Oh, of course. Okay, well then, why is there evil in the world if God is all good?
God is also justice. You cannot go on doing all sorts of things and be,
Why is there
you
evil?
know,
Why is there evil in the world?
How will you know good when there is no evil?
I don't need evil to know good. All I need is a neutral
No.
phenomenon to know what good is. I don't need to know a hole to know what a hill is. I just need a level ground to know what a hill is. I don't need evil to know good. I need neutral to know good.
No. You really need evil to know there is good.
Why?
Because there wouldn't be any good without evil. How do you measure good when
We don't need evil, sir. I need something neutral to know what good is. And we can live in a world where there's multiple good things we can choose from. There does not have to be evil.
Okay, you can think about that.
I have, sir. You haven't. You have not demonstrated
I have
anything
thought
with your
about
God.
it
You've
carefully.
given us given us no arguments, no evidence, no data. You're just saying, "Oh, I don't like what you're saying."
Now I'm giving you just few questions to think about it.
Hey, what do you got? Hello?
Hey, Mike.
You guys are way too long. I'm fast. You got to keep up.
Hi.
Hey, what do you got?
Okay, I'm Muslim first of all, and I'm sorry for my bad English
I don't
because
care.
I'm
I don't care.
Italian.
What's your argument? What's your argument?
I say that it's not true that God doesn't exist because
Wait, what's your
how
argument?
can you believe that all this creation compare itself?
Okay. How do you know that this is creation?
Because the world was created of coursely.
How do you know this?
It's not how do you know this, but we just know it ourselves.
Yeah,
It's
that's not
impossible
knowledge. That's
that
not
all of
knowledge, sir.
these that
Stop
all
talking. Stop talking. That's not knowledge. That's belief. How do you know that this is creation? If you don't have a good answer, if you don't have any evidence, if you don't have any data behind this, we have no reason to believe in your garbage.
Okay, now I ask you one thing. How do you believe all of these exist? The people, the animals,
What do you
the
mean how it
world.
exists? It just does exist, sir. There's no explanation behind it necessarily. It could be a brute fact of reality. You don't need an explanation. You don't need a God for this.
Why don't need it?
Tell me why you need a God. There's no evidence that God's required.
Because it's obviously that all of these have a creation.
It's obvious to you because you don't understand jack about science. But it's not obvious to someone like me who understands
But
more about
science confirm the existence of God.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What science proves God?
Yes, I studied last year because it's impossible that all of these have a creation, that all of these exist itself.
Sir, what science demonstrates God exists?
The science you believe.
Okay, I can't do this. Have a good day, sir.
Hear
I
me
don't
now?
believe in science. Science is not a belief, it's a method. Hey, what do you got?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So, I just wanted to let you know about the previous guy who was giving you a reference about you saying that you need a neutral to know good. You don't want evil or anything else. So, neutral is tasteless. So how would you know if you have a tasteless experience to compare? You have to have a scale to compare with something to figure out it is good or it's bad. If you're neutral, you don't know what is good, what is bad.
Yeah, so here's an analogy for this. Let's say evil is like a hole underground, neutral is a level ground, and then a hill is good, right? So the point is, I don't need to know what a hole is to know what a hill is. All I need to know what a hill is to have a level ground. Do you agree? Do you agree?
No.
Okay. Well, then
So
why do I need to
what I'm
know what a
going
hole is to know what a hill is?
what I'm going with it is you need to have a scale. You need to have a criteria to know
Yes,
something good or bad.
that's what the level ground is, right? That's the scale we use to determine what a hill is or a hole.
Yeah, so you're comparing the hill with the level ground, and you're comparing the hole with the level ground. So you have a scale to know if
Right. And
something is
the level
lower
ground is
than.
the neutral. The level ground is the neutral actions, right? A neutral
That's what I'm
action,
saying.
for example, eating ice cream, right? That's just a neutral thing.
Yeah, but how are you going to know if that ice cream is good or it's
No,
bad?
it's not good.
Because
Ice cream is
neutral
not. Ice,
doesn't give
sir,
you.
please listen. Ice cream is not good or bad. It's a neutral thing. Do you agree?
I don't agree with you.
So okay. So what is ice cream?
No, I'm going to stick with that thing. We are not comparing anything. All I'm going to say is to you, I'm not going to argue with you.
All right. Have a good day, sir. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah, hello.
What do you got?
You asked a question before if there's evil in the world. Where is God? That was your question, huh?
Where's your evidence for God, sir? Do you have any?
Yeah, but I want to explain that. So, if I now created a knife and someone else used that knife to go and kill someone else, who will you blame? Me who created the knife or the person that used the knife to kill someone else?
Both are to blame.
Both are to blame. But can't I use that knife to do something good? Can't I use that knife to bake? Can't I use that knife to do something else? Like,
Yeah. What's your point, sir? And where's your evidence of God?
no, but I'm just giving you an example. You just say that if there is God, why is there evil? It's the same thing. God gave everyone a free will. You can do everything. You can do anything you want with your life.
I know,
You don't have to.
but instead of God allowing us to do evil, He could have just gave us choices between two good actions. God could have made us good such that we never do evil at all. Evil does not have to exist.
But then we're basically slaves to Him. That's what He didn't want us to do. He wanted to give us free will. That's why
We can still
when
have
Adam
free,
and
sir, please. We can still
what?
we can still have free will and not do evil, just like God. Does God have free will?
Yeah, but then we'll become robots, bro. I'm telling you, like,
Hey,
if He was only good.
Hold on, sir. Listen to me. I know this is hard
Yeah.
for you. Just listen.
Okay. Okay.
Is God a robot? Is God a robot?
But you can't compare God with us.
Sir, listen. Does God have free will?
Of course, He has free will.
Okay. Does God ever do bad?
No.
Okay. Is God a robot?
No.
Great. So God could have made a world where we have free will, we always do good, and we're not robots. By your own logic.
No, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing because
What's
there
the
will
difference?
always be
What's the difference?
there will always be someone who wants to try something else. You know, like in the beginning when there was Adam and Eve.
No,
They say that
God. Why doesn't God ever do bad?
because God is a justable God. He's not defiled by sin. That's the thing. That's where sin comes into the place.
God. He's a just God.
Yeah, He's not defiled by sin. We
Then
are defiled by sin.
why couldn't God make us just such that we never sin?
That's why, because we're full of sin. We're full of sin.
Then why didn't God make us
we were
just?
destined by sin because of what Adam did.
Then why didn't God make us just so that we never sin?
That's the question you can't ask me. I'm honest with you. You can't ask me
You
that
can't
question.
answer it because this is the problem. This is called the problem of evil. Evil is not necessary because even under your own logic, God could have made a world where we have free will and we always do good.
But how is that free will then? If I did something bad, what would that define me? What do I become then?
You wouldn't do something bad because you would always
but aren't I programmed to?
Listen.
Oh, bro, you're not letting me speak, bro. You're telling me listen. Okay, speak, my guy, speak.
You would always use your free will to do the good, just like God. God always uses His free will to do good.
Okay, but aren't I programmed to only do free will then? To only do good? Then I'm basically programmed.
Sir, is God programmed to do only good?
No.
So God's not programmed to do good, so He does bad?
No, that's not what I'm saying, no.
Okay, great. So then God always does good, right? Like a robot?
Yeah, He always does good.
God always does good, like a robot.
But listen. There is consequences for people who does bad. Where do they go? They go to hell.
Sure, please stay on
They
track.
go to hell. That's what I'm telling you. There's consequences for what you do.
Stay on track with the argument, sir. God always does good, like a robot, right? God always does good, right?
He's not a robot, but okay, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so God's not a robot, but he always does good.
Yeah, because it's adjustable God. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then we could always do good and not be
No,
robots.
no, we can't. We can't because we're full of sin. We're full of sin. That's why Jesus came and died for our sins. We are not like we're not
Stop,
perfect. We're
sir.
not perfect
Listen,
human
listen,
beings.
listen.
How can
Why
you tell me to
didn't
listen, bro, when I'm explaining something to you, my guy? You're telling me listen.
you're not understanding what I'm saying? This is very simple, sir.
Okay. What are you trying to say? Tell me.
God could have made us good such that we never choose evil with our free will. We can have free will and always choose good. Do you agree?
Yeah, but let me explain.
Great.
Can I explain? Can I explain? Can I explain?
So then why didn't God make that world?
Let me explain. Because when Adam and Eve ate from the tree, that was when sin
Yeah.
came into the place.
So, okay, great. So were Adam and Eve made good and perfect?
Yeah, they were. They didn't know what sin was before they ate from the tree. They didn't know what sin was.
So how can perfect beings make a mistake?
You can get deceived. That's what happened. That was when the Satan came and deceived them.
But by definition, perfection cannot be flawed.
We was created in God's image, yeah, but we're not God, so you can't say that we were perfect.
Wait.
We were created in His own image.
Do you think perfect beings ever make mistakes?
No.
So then, by your own definition, Adam and Eve should have never sinned.
No, that's not what I'm saying. They were created in God's image, but they're not God. You can become deceived. But you listen. God created them with free.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Nice try. You guys will never get this. It's very simple. And you don't want to get it because it debunks your entire belief system. But if we're perfect, we never make...
All right, Mike.
Hey, what do you got?
I was just thinking about the point where you were stating about the universe. Don't you think the basic fundamental of science is cause and effect?
No, everybody keeps saying this bullshit. It's garbage. Cause and effect is an emergent phenomenon. It happens to things within space and time, not the space and time itself. So the idea that the universe had to have a cause and that cause must be God is atrociously ridiculous. Just because the universe does not need a cause, and even if there was a cause, it doesn't mean God did it.
Don't you think the universe itself has intelligent design to it, right down to our molecules?
Hold on, let me get my glasses. I can't see too well. What? I can't see too well because I need glasses. My eyes were designed poorly.
All right. Look,
sir, hold on. The idea that we were designed intelligently is ridiculous. We have to go get pills. We have to get medicine. We need medicine to survive. We get allergies. We get pneumonia. These diseases that kill us. We have all kinds of terrible things happening to our bodies. Genetic mutations, genetic disorders. That's a stupid design to me.
All right. Well, we before that we never had the pills and all that.
Yeah, because we died. That's the point. Without pills, we die.
All right. So how this universe came to existence? There's two basic things. So the basics of science is cause and effect, and then we got the singularity theory from the Big Bang.
No, the Big Bang isn't. The singularity is being moved away from in science. The singularity is not even a real thing. The Big Bang also is not the origins of the universe. The Big Bang is simply a phase the universe goes through. There's no need for a God at all.
All right, then. So you're saying that the universe always existed.
It could have.
How do you know it could have? Is there any scientific proof for that?
It doesn't defy any scientific laws. It doesn't defy any logical laws.
Of course. So that's what I'm saying. How could you said about, having scientific fact that it did exist. So
I never said it's a scientific fact, sir. I'm saying it's a plausibility.
Yeah, if there's a possibility, but you got to have, like written proof for it that the universe already existed or did always exist.
We don't need proof in science. In science, we go about what's most evidence and what is the most plausible scenario. And we don't know. Science does not make a statement about the origins of the universe. There might not be an origins of the universe. But the point is we have several models. right? We have inflationary cosmology, a quantum field arising, yielding a universe. We have an infinite universe. We have the no boundary proposal by Stephen Hawking. We have many different plausible scenarios, none of which included God. God is never in any scientific model. I wonder why.
All right.
I got you.
When you leave your submarine, get back to us, okay?
Yo,
What do you got for us?
man, I just want to ask something. Like, why is it so bad to believe in a God? Like, what do you lose from believing in a God? Like,
I'm not saying it's
just
bad. I'm saying it could be mistaken. It could be bad in terms of your epistemology. It could be bad in terms of messing up with your mindset, messing up with how you think. Sometimes when people believe in God, they think that they know everything because they believe in God and God's the only ultimate thing. But there could be more out there, right? There could be greater things to learn about the universe, a greater mystery to be learned than just a God. That's why believing in God could be a fatal thing, as well as the fact that when people believe in God, they can believe in certain theistic principles that can influence other people's lives, and for the worse. They can take away people's rights, take away people's freedoms. That's why I'm not against God. I'm against ignorance. I promote critical thinking.
okay. So what if it happens that there is a God? Are you not scared of the unknown?
Great. Give us evidence for it.
No, I'm saying there's a possibility that there is a God, right?
I don't know. I don't know what God is. God is not possible until defined into possibility. You don't know. If we don't know what God is, how can we say it's possible?
Okay, there's a possibility. There's a possibility that there is a God.
It depends on what your definition of God is. What's God? It's just a word.
Well, something responsible for the creation and everything that's there, right?
What's creation? What is this? What's creation?
Well, but my point is, what if there is a God? Like, why is it that you don't give room for that possibility?
What if I fucked your mom? Like, who cares? Where's your evidence for this shit? And why do you believe it?
I feel like I don't lose anything by believing in a God.
I do. I lose my rationality, my reasoning skills, my critical thinking skills. I lose my ability to think properly. I lose my ability to be a proper member of society who cares about rights.
But then what if later you realize there's a God?
There is no God, sir. It's garbage. It's nonsense. Do you have any evidence before I kick you off?
It's okay, man.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day. Next.
Hey,
Hey, what do you got?
so you believe in evolution?
It's a fact of reality, yes.
So, okay, we were just all monkeys and now got iPhones.
No.
So how come
hold on.
elephants don't have,
Hold on.
how come elephants haven't evolved?
They are evolving. Every species is evolving. Now, the question you said in the beginning was, we were monkeys and then we turned to people? No, this is not Pokemon. We did not go from monkey to human, right? That process took millions of years of small incremental changes in our species. And it's not that we come from monkeys, we share a common ancestry with the monkeys. And what that means is if you go far back enough in the fossil records or genetics, you can see that we share ancestry with all the monkeys and primates of today. And since that time, since those ancestors, millions of years ago, they slowly changed and branched out into different species. And some became chimps, some became orangutans, some became gorillas, and some became humans. And that's who we are. We're just one branch on the tree of life.
But no other animals ever change.
Every animal changes constantly. Evolution is a constant process. However, the reason why the other animals are different from us is because they evolved differently than we did. We had to leave the trees of Africa. We had to start migrating across the African
Why?
continent. Hence, we had to grow larger brains. We had to learn different processes. And before
Why?
us, there were many different species of humans before us: Erectus, Ergaster, Habilis, right? Australopithecus afarensis. These are different species of people who existed prior to us, who were in between us and the chimp ancestors.
So what about all the other animals that are forced to leave their habitats and change? And why aren't they changing? Why aren't they evolving over millions of years?
They
Because
are.
over what we know and what we understand, nothing else has changed. No other animals.
Every animal changes. We see things like birds evolve and whales evolve, and every
To
single
what?
species.
Other fish?
No,
Other birds?
they're so on a short time scale. There's something called phenotypical evolution, right? That is changes in their skin colors or their hair colors, things like this. These are simple changes, smaller changes. But if you want to see the bigger changes, macroevolution, you're talking more time. You're talking, millions of generations, and that's the point. We don't see it on a day-to-day basis. You don't see too many changes on a day-to-day basis. What we see is what evolution is a slow incremental process of changes in our genetic makeup. But the reason why not the other animals are not like us is because they didn't undergo the same pressures as we did, the same evolutionary pressures, right? We were pressured to become smarter because we had to adapt and be fit to survive. If we didn't, we go extinct.
Well, it also goes with your vegan thing. Like, how come other animals aren't forced to eat vegetables and plants? Why do tigers and cheetahs, why do they have to eat meat? I mean, this is
That's
just
how they evolved.
I've been hearing you for a while, and these are just like
That's how they evolved.
questions
That's how they evolved.
to keep eating meat.
Yeah, it's called digestive evolution, right? Their physiology dictated that they would eat certain things in their environments, and they adapted for those specific foods.
So if they would stop eating meat, they would change.
If there were certain pressures that slowly pressured them to wean off of meat, yes, their digestive systems over many generations would evolve in certain ways. That's how evolution literally works.
Okay, so in the past, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years, how come there hasn't been different changes to the human body
There have been. We developed
with
certain
processing and chicken nuggets and
we have evolved. We've
not
developed.
much. We still have the same body
Yes.
parts.
Yes, we
Same.
haven't changed too much, but we have changed on a micro level. We've developed lactase enzymes. We developed certain more sweat glands. We developed
Well, those are like
larger physiology.
intolerances. Okay, that's probably why there's a lot of sicknesses, but our looks have changed maybe slightly,
Yes.
but not a lot.
Yeah, because evolution takes a long time to see big changes.
I'm talking like 800 years.
That's not enough time to see big changes. We're talking like hundreds of thousands of years to see big changes.
So what is next? What do we become?
It depends on our
What do you think? I'm your opinion.
It depends on the environments we're given. It depends on what we're going through.
Like princesses and princes and do we become an iPhone?
Yeah, this isn't Mario Brothers, right? Like we're talking about.
Do we become a pipe?
Do you know what evolution is, by the way?
No. I come to you to learn everything.
We can tell. Evolution is genetic mutations over time. It is something that happens on the micro molecular level. That's evolution.
So the chicken nuggets will mess us up eventually.
I don't know.
And we'll change and we'll become deformities.
What do you mean deformities?
Because you're saying that over time we change and become, we have deformities. So
no, we would adapt to these certain foods. That's what happens. It's called adaptation. Man, can you vote?
Okay, so what is next? What is our in a million years? What are we?
Are you American?
No.
Okay, thank God. Next. Please don't vote in America. Hey, what do you got?
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately, what do you got?
Unfortunately. Wow, why are you so arrogant? I want to ask you one question. Are you a racist because you asked the other lady if she's an American?
The one who thinks the universe was designed for them is calling me arrogant. The one who thinks everything was perfectly placed here for you, the one who thinks that they can talk to the creator of the universe is calling me arrogant. The one who thinks they know everything in the universe because it's in a book is calling me arrogant. That's preposterous, ma'am. That is ridiculous. I am not arrogant. I'm the opposite of arrogant because I don't claim to know everything like you do. Now, what's your point? What's your argument? Never mind. I don't care. Next.
Easiest interception that Bishop Fitzgerald's gonna ever.
Hello?
What do you got? How old are you?
Your mom, and also your beard is kind of patchy. You should shave it off.
Well, when you grow a beard, which is another 10 years from now, you'll know how to grow a beard.
Yo,
I don't know
hello.
what shaving means. I shaved yesterday. Hey, what do you got?
Why do you think like God is fake? Like, let me ask that.
What?
Why do you think God is fake? Like, why do you think he's not real? Like,
Because every time you guys come up here, you fail at giving any good arguments.
okay, so like, let me just get one thing straight. What if there is a heaven and if there is a hell? What do you think? Like, what if there is?
I don't know what heaven is. I don't know what heaven is. As far as to Christianity is concerned, your idea of heaven is my idea of hell. I don't want to go to your heaven and worship your magic monster forever like a complete robot. That's stupid. I'd rather burn in hell than worship your God like a slave forever.
For forever, you just rather burn in hell? That's crazy.
Yeah. Because I have dignity. I have dignity in myself. I have courage. I'm not going to sit there and be a bot because I fear the consequences of my actions.
Okay, well, you go live your life then, but like, it's
Okay,
just
great.
like, why you hate life?
Do you have evidence for your magic sky daddy or not?
I mean, I got evidence of Jesus.
I don't care about a guy who died on a stick. I want evidence of a God.
Nah, I can't do that for you. I got evidence of Jesus,
Okay,
though.
we can tell.
His son.
Hey, what do you got?
Well, first of all, hello. How you doing?
What is your evidence for God?
Well, you're sitting on live right now, debating people if God is imaginary or not.
And?
He's real. We're talking about him. We're breathing his breath right now.
So if we debated about Santa Claus, so that means Santa Claus is real?
Santa Claus is Satan.
Okay, have a good day. Enjoy your day.
Oh, buddy, I'm back.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I know. I was probably living in your head all day today, reminding you about how I beat you yesterday in this little...
Yeah, you beat me so good with no argument. that I don't remember. Hey, what do you got?
What's up, brother?
What is your evidence for your magic, Sky Daddy? Hurry up.
I'll try. I'll try. I'll just tell you what goes through my head. So I used to be an atheist, and the thing about God is you can neither prove nor disprove His
Oh my God,
existence.
sir. I don't care. I can neither disprove or prove that I fucked your Bob last night. Now, can you give us evidence of a God or
If
not?
you weren't such a douche, I would. But the
Okay.
problem is that you're.
Yeah. Have a good day. Next.
Yo.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean. Like you're saying you can disprove that God isn't real and shit. But like God is
Stop.
and
Stop.
people worship him because people have been saved by
You're not going to preach on my life. Get that out of your head. You're not going to preach here.
Yo, I'm not preaching.
Give me evidence of
I'm trying
God
to tell
or
you
go
what's right and
away.
wrong.
Give me evidence or go away.
I'm giving you evidence because God gave you life. God is created.
Those are claims, not evidence. Anybody can say God did it or Stephalophagus did it. Anybody can do
In
it.
between, if you want, and top-notch support from a local team of experts. A
Hello?
talented fading
Bro. Stop watching God TV. Change your channel to science. This is science channel. You need it. Hey, what do you got?
Dude,
What do you got? What's your argument?
like, why the fuck are you the person you are? Like, what the fuck is bothering you in life? Like, just let people fucking be. There's no fucking proof that there
How
is a
about you
God.
let
You're
people
just
be?
being a childish asshole.
How about you let people be themselves, be LGBT? How about you let people get abortions? How about you let people be atheists? How about that?
Yeah, but
And
we
not
can
call them
separate.
sinners,
Like,
and
we can
not call them,
separate that. I
and
respect
not
people's
continue
belief.
screaming. How about you stop screaming that it's the end times every day? How about you stop screaming that we all have to praise your God or we're gonna burn? How about that?
Well, I don't do that shit. You're just
Well,
fucking.
Christians do. That's the point. I'm here because there are Christians who do bad things.
No, now you're just comparing apples and oranges. Like, you're putting all Christians in one group.
Well, Christianity is inherently a bad religion. It's a disgusting religion. Now, do you have any evidence for your magic God or not?
No, I don't.
Okay, great. That's all you had to say. Next. Proving my point.
Hello.
What do you got?
To be honest, bro, I just want to know, like, do you just love like arguing? Because I just love like an argument.
Argumentation is good because it challenges yourself. It challenges ourselves to think more, which you don't do.
Conversation is good.
So,
Being argumentative
so
isn't good.
when you say you don't like argumentation, it means you're not thinking enough. So do you have evidence for God or not?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say you're being very subjective with when you're saying God. You were just going on about Christians. That God is a very subjective thing. There are various religions.
Whatever
Are
Sky
you just
Daddy.
are you just talking about Christians? Because that's literally what you just said.
Great. Then give us evidence.
God is a term for a higher being.
Okay, great.
Something.
So prove
There are
it.
gods in all sorts of religions, right? You
Great.
just said then that Christians are the bad ones. So is it just their God, or is Sikh God? Is he a cunt as well?
Sir, listen. Can you please stop yapping? Can you stop yapping, sir? What is the evidence for your higher power, please?
What the fuck are you on about? Like,
okay, have a good day. That's why you need to argue more. This is what happens when you don't argue enough, right? You don't understand what you're doing.
Hey, can you?
What do you got?
I just want to let you know I read your entire book, Bittersweet Reality.
Great, thank you. Have a good day. All right, next. Let's see. Who else should we get up here? Do gophers have souls?
What's up, brother? How you doing? What's going on?
All right, what do you got?
All right, I don't got the same angle as everybody else. I particularly believe religion is just simply representation.
So do you have evidence for God or not?
God isn't imaginary because the representation has literal basis. I would describe God as three things: the blanketed consciousness, I guess the evolution of matter in totality, and the creator itself, like space. I think it's all representation. So I mean, I feel like you know what religion is. You know,
Sure.
I see it as all metaphor. What?
So are you a pantheist?
I agree with religions. I agree with religion, but I don't think it's meant to be lit.
Okay, well, that's what a pantheist does. Now, honestly, I'm after more people who believe in like theism.
Hello.
What do you got?
So what if all these gods across the world are aspects of humanity and they're pointing towards us? God is us, humanity.
Why would
Aspects
you
of
want to call
us.
us God? Why not just see, this is the problem with you guys. You guys that say this.
I'm not
Why not
Christian.
just instead of saying God, instead of calling ourselves God, why not just call ourselves people? Like, why would you add the confusion? Why would you make it so confusing?
It's to get a point across, like what you're trying to get across.
What's God mean? God is such an ambiguous word. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a word that sounds cool. It doesn't do anything for you.
True.
So
all thoughts come from concepts of outward. Yeah, you mean.
All right. Anybody else that's not weird? I'm good. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
That checklist up there. Yeah, what do you got?
Hey, do you not think that it could be some evidence, or think that it's strange that, some people say, oh, well, it's just an indent on Mount Ararat, but when you look at the paleontologists that found it, and they confirmed, these are scientists, paleontologists, they confirmed without contest that it matched 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide.
All right. So you're talking about archaeologists, not paleontologists, which study fossils, sir. Now, more importantly, where's your
Oh, they
study?
clearly are fossils, and they are paleontologists.
Where's your study? Where's your scientific source that demonstrates they found the Ark? Please, either give me a source or go away. I'm done with this nonsense. Give me a source or go away. Come on, sir. Please go get out of McDonald's, get to Wi-Fi, and give me a source.
From going there because they found thermophilic bacteria in the snow.
Sir, give me a source that says they found the Ark.
Right there to your left. Use your keyboard. Where did they find Noah's Ark? Oh shit, your camera's reversed. You're right, I guess.
Sir, where is the source?
Oh, you ain't got Wi-Fi? Get out of McDonald's.
Do you know what a source is? It's not a computer, sir. It's a study, a peer-reviewed scientific study. That's a source. Okay, well, have a good day. Come back when you get out of McDonald's. Hello? The Ark's in Kentucky. There is no fucking Ark. They never found it. I guarantee you he was going to cite Ron Watt, who is a complete fraud, who is not an archaeologist, has not published a scientific study in his life. There is zero evidence of the Ark.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
You want an argument or proof exactly?
Proof would be great, but an argument works.
Well, the causality principle might be an argument for it.
Causality principle.
Yes.
Okay, do you understand that this is a philosophical idea, right? Not a scientific idea.
It is a universal law.
No, it's a philosophical idea.
Want to.
It's not a scientific law. There's no law of causality in science. It
The
doesn't
principle
exist.
of everything needs a cause to be made.
Okay, then who made God?
God doesn't need to be in the laws of universe because he's outside the universe.
Oh, okay. So why can't we just say the universe is always there?
Give me a proof for it. Give me an argument.
No, sir, that's not how this works. It's
Yes,
a
it is.
possibility. It's a possibility that the universe
So
is
there's
always
a possibility God exists.
No, because God's ill-defined. But a universe that's infinite is well-defined. And very
Bro, you're goofy. I'm trying to tell you the argument of causality.
It's not an argument, though.
An argument for that God exists because everything needs a cause to be made.
Okay. How about this? Let's say you're right, there is a causality. Can the cause be a natural thing?
What do you mean?
Like a quantum field. Could that be the cause of the universe?
Maybe if you believe that, yeah, I guess so.
No, there's evidence behind a quantum field, and that is
Okay,
a
give me
very
the
plausible
evidence.
scenario
Can you
that
give me the
causes the
evidence?
universe. So even if you're correct that there is a causality principle, it does not mean that God did it, does it?
Okay, can you please provide the evidence for the quantum?
We have an entire field of study called inflationary cosmology and quantum theory that demonstrates these fields. We can measure them with particle accelerators.
Okay, but what can it be an argument to prove that God exists? The causality principle. Why do you say you cannot what caused God? That's your argument?
Because the cause could be something natural instead of a God.
Wait, but what I'm trying to say, if everything needs a cause to be made, what you said before was what made God. But as I said, that's a universal law. The causality principle is a universal law.
Yeah, by the way, nothing's made. You don't make anything. You can't make something. It's ridiculous. Energy is always conserved. It's never created.
You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I don't know.
Everything needs a cause to be made. Like if you
No, what do you mean by made? What do you mean by made?
Let's say you create a Lego piece, by example. You make it, right?
Yeah, so in that sense, in that context,
okay,
making is assemblage, right? You're assembling stuff that was already there and into a Lego set, a Lego piece, right? So that's assemblage. That's ex materia.
But if there was something behind the universe, he was before everything was made. So he had to make something in order to be there. So how was the universe always there?
You're just begging the question there. You're just presupposing that there's something beyond that. There doesn't have to be that. So demonstrate that there has to be something beyond the universe.
Yeah. So there has something to be beyond the universe. That's what I said.
No, demonstrate to us. Tell us how you know that there's got to be something beyond the universe, like a God.
Yeah, the creator of the universe.
Why? Where's your evidence of this?
I already told you the causality principle that everything.
Oh my God, sir, you're not understanding. Sir, please listen. The causality principle could be applied to something natural. There could be a natural reason, like a quantum field, that yields a universe. You don't need God. So just because there's a causality doesn't mean God did it. Do you agree?
I mean, what's your definition of God?
Imaginary. God is an ill-defined, incomplete
God can be
idea.
defined as the creator of the universe. It doesn't have to be specific in the Bible. God.
What does a creator mean?
The thing that made the universe.
Ex materia or ex nihilo creation?
What do you mean?
See, this is the problem. You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't either.
Yes, I do. Ex materia.
Explain it to me so I can understand you.
Sure, I'll educate you for you.
Okay.
So when it comes to ex materia, this is a causation that is caused by something previously existing, a material thing. When it comes to ex nihilo, that is from nothing. That is from nothing creation. That means you poofed into existence. God made it from nothing. There's a difference between these two creation. So are you talking, when you say creation, do you mean ex materia or do you mean ex nihilo?
The second one, the one that came from nothing. Because as
Okay.
you said, the universe, you stated that the universe could always be there, right? That's what you said.
It could have, yeah.
It could have. Okay, but you mean like a possibility. What other possibilities are there? Like what other theories do you think could
The
be?
universe. So the universe could have always existed. There could be a cause, a natural quantum field that caused it. There could be a multiverse. There could be many plausible ideas that allow us to
Okay,
explain
but
the
do you
world.
have any proofs for any of those?
We don't need proof of them. You don't have proof of a God, but we
Okay,
have
but then why do I need proof of a God if you don't need proof for those?
Because I'm not asking you for proof of God. I'm asking you for any evidence for it or any reason to believe in it. Now, there are good reasons to believe the universe could
I
be.
gave you the reason that why I believe in it.
Sir, listen. There are good reasons to believe the universe could be infinite because we know that time and space can be infinite. They can be seen as a block universe, a four-dimensional block where time and space go on forever. This is a plausible scenario. God is not plausible because God is not defined.
Okay, but if you're asking me a proof of why I believe in it, and I'm giving you the causality principle, your counter argument is stating your belief without the proof either. So then what's the point?
No. I just explained this to you. It's like you're not listening to me. Can you open up your ears?
I'm opening. It's just that English is not my first language. It's hard to understand.
I am not asking for proof of God. I am not asking for definitive proof. That's why we are on the same level of standards of evidence. I don't require proof of God, and you shouldn't need proof of an eternal universe. How could I prove it to you? It's not possible, but it is a plausibility, which means that it does not defy any laws of logic. It does not defy any laws of science. That is your job to demonstrate that it defies science to say that it's not possible that the universe is eternal.
But that's what you're saying, that the universe is eternal.
I'm saying it's plausible. I don't know for a fact, but it's a plausibility.
I don't know for a fact, but in what I think is that causality principle could be an argument to prove the existence of a God. Because for order in the universe to exist.
But the problem is, what's saying that is that we have alternative explanations for what the cause is. So you can't say God.
But God is the definition by excellence of the creator of the universe. Like, it doesn't matter what you mean by God.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have no reason to believe that.
I already gave it to you, but you're saying it's not.
What's the reason?
I told you the causality principle, but you're saying it's not a reason.
Again, we can explain the causality through something natural.
What do you mean? Can you repeat that?
The cause of the universe can be something natural, like a quantum field. Do you agree?
Okay.
Great. So you can't use the causality argument to demonstrate a God, because we have two plausibilities here. I'm granting you a plausibility too. Like, I've granted you a plausibility, and you still don't have an argument.
Well, that's like the only argument that it could be for anyone in here. Like, that's the only.
Yep, and that's why you don't. Really? That's why there is no argument for God. That's why there is no evidence for a God.
It is an argument. You just don't want to take it. So
no, the argument fails for the things I just mentioned before. It does not point to a God. It does not point to a God because it equally points to something natural. That's the problem. That's why it's not a good argument.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Hello.
Hey, what's your argument?
I don't really have an argument. I just want to let you know that I'll pray for you tonight, okay? I'm going to pray for you.
I'm going to pray for you to get all your noodles, like Spaghetti Monster says. We have to be good noodles. And are you praying to Spaghetti Monster? He's the real God.
I might. You don't know that. There are many different gods.
You want to boil?
But I'll definitely pray for you.
Ma'am, do you want to boil in the pot? Do you want to boil?
No, I'm good.
Then pray to Spaghetti Monster, because Spaghetti Monster can save us from the pot that we're going to boil.
Do you want a razor for that unibrow? I can get you one.
Where's the unibrow? I don't see any unibrow here. You must be mistaken.
Have a good night, okay?
Is this the Christian love you guys talk about so much? The Christian love?
Yeah.
Don't you think God made me? So why are you mocking God's creation?
Oh, I thought you didn't believe in God.
This is called an internal critique. Do you know what that is? Okay. Have a good day. Next.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got?
Hello?
What is
Can
your
you hear me?
Unfortunately,
So what is your belief, bro?
I believe in facts, things that are based on evidence and data.
So why do you think that God is imaginary?
There's no evidence of it. There's no data or evidence for it.
So how are you created?
Who said we were?
What do you mean? How are you here now?
Physics.
So physics is what you think is your creation, right?
No, nothing's created. Creation does not exist. Matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's always there. Now, what explains the reason why we're here the way we are is because of physics, gravity, things like that, nuclear force, the weak force, right? The laws of physics describe perfectly well why we're here, not God.
So why don't you I just don't understand, you believe in physics to your existence? Is that what you're saying?
So we can demonstrate physics. We cannot demonstrate a magic sky daddy.
So demonstrate to me how physics can be go into more depth about physics. How it can.
Oh look, there's gravity. It's gonna fall every time. There's gravity. Wow, that's physics.
Doesn't make any sense.
We observe reality and we come to conclusions based on the evidence and data. That's physics. That's
so you're trying to say that the Earth created us? That's what you're trying to use the Earth?
What? No. Nothing created us. We evolved through time. Physically and naturally.
That doesn't make any sense though. So if we evolve through time, there has to be something that made the first being for us to even evolve.
No.
Do you understand?
Nope, there's no first being. The first person is a nonsensical idea. Evolution shows us that it doesn't happen on an individual basis. Evolution happens on a population basis over multiple generations. So there can't be a first person.
So I'm just trying to get to the bottom. I'm talking about the species here. I'm not talking about the first person. I'm talking about the first species to ever come to our existence for us to evolve into humans.
Yeah, so life is a chemical process, and we can take a look at things like abiogenesis, which demonstrates that the first living beings came from protocells, amino acids, lipids, phosphates, these simple organic molecules or organic compounds that interact with each other in a chemical evolution that became the first cells about 4 billion years ago in the oceans of the Earth. And there's a complex interactive chemical atmosphere that yielded the life we know today through millions of years of evolution since then.
Okay, but what caused that chemical reaction? Do you know? What caused it?
Physics. It's just nature.
Okay, but you got to think about this. There's no possible way that a human can evolve without another human. Correct?
That doesn't make any sense. Evolution happens
Today we cannot. No, you're not listening. Today we cannot evolve without having an intercourse with another human. We cannot create a human.
Yeah, that's mitosis. That's chemical evolution as well. Like there's everything about your body is a chemical process, right? So that's what explains why we reproduce. It's a chemical process. What's your point?
When you say God is imaginary, what do you really mean by that? Because I'm trying to really understand more. Like when you say God is imaginary, do you say he's all in our consciousness, or what are you trying to say?
It's not real. It's not real. Where's your evidence?
Okay, then let's take it this far then. How did Earth come about? How did everything come about? You have to think about that. We
have thought about it, and we know how it happened. It's called planetary formation. We know that the stars in the early universe exploded. They got large. They exploded in supernovae, and the gas and dust that emerged from this explosion went into space and formed nebula clouds, and these clouds collapsed. And because of angular momentum, they became disks of material and gas that collected to the center. They became protostars. These stars ignited in nuclear fusion. They yielded shock waves that pushed material outwards. It became colder, which allowed these rocky materials in the outer outskirts of the disk to become larger fragments, and then planetesimals, and then planets, which then became the Earth.
And what you're telling me is that you believe God has no God has no nothing to
Yep.
do with that.
Yep. Nothing to do with it. It's just physics.
So it just happened. It just happened. Nothing to do with it.
It's just physics. There's no need for a God.
But in order for there to be physics, there has to be a God.
Why? How do you know that?
Because everything is in line for us to live. Look at the planet that we're on. Why? Like, if it just so happened, we would be on another planet that we can't even withstand. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're on this planet, it proves that there is a God because we are on an environment that we can survive on. You know what I'm saying?
But we're also in an environment where we die. We're also in an environment where we get skin cancer. So does that mean
Because of the huh?
Your argument is that we are here, we survive here, therefore God did it. But what if I told you that people die? What if I told you that 99% of all life that ever existed is now dead and extinct? Does that mean God designed us to die?
No, he didn't design us to die. But the thing is, we don't eat. We're here on this planet because that we have a mission. Not a lot of people are fulfilling that mission. So yeah, we do die. We work, we die. We all, it's the same thing.
But how do you know that God did all this?
Bro, he literally it's in the Bible. I mean, if you just read the Bible, and also look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. For the physics to be known, there has to be a God. Like it just doesn't make any sense because how was everything about? Like you got to.
Okay, so do you believe that? I don't understand. Therefore, God did it. That's not an argument. That's a baseless nonsense assertion.
Okay, so like what you're telling me is okay. How was space created then? Since you're trying to say, oh, it's all on physics. How was space created? How was the moon created? How was the sun created? How was Earth created?
It wasn't created, sir. All the things around us could have always existed in some primordial state at the Big Bang. And since then, the energy state of the universe changes, and it goes through a cosmic evolution where we have star formation, then galaxy formation, and then planet formation. That is what explains reality better than God did it.
But all of that came about because of God. That's what I'm trying to say. For there to be something, there has to be something.
All right, listen.
Is what I'm trying to say.
How about that? Let me try this way. We have two worlds, world A, world B. In world A, everything we know today exists, and there's no God. In world B, everything we know today exists, but there is a God. How do you tell the difference between these two worlds, where there is a God and
because you didn't just poof from the sky. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You didn't just come from a sky, man. You came from something.
That's what you're saying. You're saying one day God got bored and just poofed us all into existence. That's what you believe, sir, not what I believe.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that there is a God because whether or not the God is non-human being, whether or not the God is whatever, I believe that there is some type of energy that created us all. Whether you say it's physics, whether you say it's not, that's still a God to me. That's still a God.
Who created God?
God can't be created. God is unlimited.
Okay, great. Then why can't we say the universe can't be created? It's always there.
The universe is unlimited, like I said.
Yeah, we can just say the universe is always there. That's it. We're done.
Exactly, but there is a God for why we're here.
Why must you add God? Why? Why are you adding God? Why?
Because that's the only thing we can call it. What do you want me to say? I mean,
you could just say there is no God. You don't need a God. You can just
there is a God. There is a God though.
We can just cut God off the table and say, yep, all you need is a universe. That's it. We're here. Shit happens.
But you can't, bro. You just can't use physics and say, oh, that's the reason why. Because all these atoms came together.
But you're
saying all these atoms came together and created us. Sir, no, dude.
Just because you don't understand science doesn't mean God did it. You're using a 3,000
book
of garbage to prove your point.
I'm trying to say that whether or not physics was involved or not, to me, that's still God.
I don't care.
And you can call it physics, you can call it what you want.
I don't give a shit what you think. Give me evidence of your magic sky daddy or go away. You get one more chance.
Okay, let me tell you this then. Were you there? What did you see when you were?
Were you there, Bill Roy? Were you there? We don't have to be there. We can look through telescopes. We can see the past by looking out into space, and we can see the cosmic changes that have occurred in our past. We can literally see the past by looking out into space because light takes time to travel to our eyes. And because of that, if you can see the light coming from the space, you can see the past of the universe. This is called science. We can learn from the past and understand the future and understand the present. You don't need God. All right, one more guy in here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what do you got?
Okay. So according to science, life cannot form from non-living matter,
It can.
right?
It can. It's called
There's never been true. Life has never been created by any scientist, right?
It absolutely
From
has.
non-living
We
matter.
actually have made cells in labs, synthetic designer cells in labs. We've made red blood cells in labs. We've done it before. It's not too hard to make life. But more importantly, we know that life is a chemical byproduct of non-living things. Life as we know it, there's nothing about you and your body that makes you alive except for the fact that there's interactions. There's a collective interactions between your molecules, between your organic compounds in your body. You're not alive because you're made of stuff. You're alive because of the interactions between that stuff. Life is an emergent process of non-living things. So we know for a fact that life comes from non-life because that's what life is by definition. Now, when it comes to the first living things in the world, we can go back to abiogenesis, 4.5 billion years ago, where the first protocells evolved in waters. This is a byproduct of chemical evolution. You don't need God to explain life. We have physics and chemistry to explain it. Perfectly fine.
What do you think about intelligent design?
I think it's stupid. I look at things like allergies, where our immune systems are fighting themselves. That's a stupid design. Look at people choking to death. Why would God design our mouths and throats so small and give us only one hole to breathe and eat from? That's a stupid design. Why do people choke every day to death on their food? That's stupid.
Do you know that the majority of scientists believe in a creator?
I don't.
Did you know that?
That's actually false. But I don't care. It doesn't matter what people believe. This is an appeal to authority. I care what the evidence shows us.
You think you know more than scientists? That doesn't make any sense. More and more scientists are discovering that there's a creator.
This is an appeal to authority. I don't care what scientists believe.
Exactly.
In science, we don't care about what scientists say. We care about what they can demonstrate. We take a look at the data and the evidence. And by the way, you think you know more than the science because you're the only one here claiming that you know how the universe got here, that you can talk to the creator and he died for you on a stick. That's garbage.
You know what's your problem? You need to study the five dimensions. God is outside of the 5 dimensions. He's outside of time.
How do you know
that? He's outside of time.
How? He's outside of time.
Do you know anything about the 5 dimensions?
Oh, so God is outside of time, is he? So
yes.
How do you create something without time to create it in?
No, after he created, have you heard about the Big Bang? I'm sure you have.
Sir, can you answer the question directly? How did God create something without time to create it in?
Because he's outside of time. I just told you, time doesn't affect God. He's in the 5th dimension.
Does it take time to do things? Does it take time to create something?
You're thinking about in a human capacity. You don't have the intelligence to understand our creator.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have supernatural. You have superhuman capabilities, right?
Also,
you have
God
superhuman capabilities.
God is not a human. He's a spirit.
He's definitely human. Sir, can you listen carefully? Can you listen carefully? Do you think it takes time to create something?
Yes, it takes time for humans to create something good.
So if God is outside of time, that means he has no time to create something in. He's not in time.
Do you know anything about the 5 dimensions? first of all?
Sir, I guarantee you don't know jack about anything in science. Can you answer
Oh,
the
I know more
question?
than
Can you
that.
please stop pivoting and answer the question? How could God create something in time if there was no time for him to create it in?
I just told you, you're thinking a human. You don't have the capacity to understand.
Okay,
God is
how
not a human.
okay,
If he was a
insert
human, he
insert,
needed
sir.
time.
How do you know that there's something, how do you understand or grasp higher than 5 dimensions? How do you do it? Are you superhuman?
No, I'm not
Okay, great.
superhuman. I just have
So then,
I
so
just
then,
have common sense.
so then how do you know that there is a God? And how do you know that there's a 5 dimensions thing and all this nonsense? How do you
Because
know?
we need a creator in order for life to begin. Because life can't form out of non-living matter according to science. So you're
Wow,
against science.
it's like you didn't listen to anything I said, sir.
No,
You
you're not listening to
skipped
me.
everything I said.
Life can't
Right?
form from non-living matter. Look it up.
What is life? Sir, what is life
Look it
to?
up.
What is life?
Something that's alive. A rock doesn't have life.
Okay, what
A rock.
exactly is life, scientifically speaking?
Something that has life, that moves. Something that moves, that has it.
You can't use the word in the definition. What exactly is life scientifically?
Something that has can die, that has a life, that's breathing. Something that's breathing.
Okay. So bacteria isn't alive?
Yes, bacteria is alive. Yes,
But
because it moves.
It doesn't breathe though. It doesn't have lungs.
It,
So it's
it
not
moves.
alive.
It moves. A sperm cell, it's alive. It moves.
Okay, great.
A
So
rock
what
is not
exactly
alive.
what exactly is life on a scientific basis?
Something that has life. There you can look it up. It's scientifically. Also, there's never been any scientific.
Let me answer for you. Life on a scientific basis is the replication of an item or a organic compound that can replicate. That's life. It's replication, sustaining an energetic process. That's life. Now this applies to things like bacteria and protocells, which can become living things because the amino acids, the proteins, the lipids that make up your body, they interact in certain ways. And in that process, they yield life. Life comes from non-life because you're made of non-living things. You're not alive because you're made of DNA. DNA is not living. DNA is not alive. What makes you alive is the way your cells and your DNA interact with other DNA. That's what makes you alive.
Okay, I just got out of work. I'm not prepared, to be honest. I had a lot of there's a lot of scientific what's it called? The scientists that try to form life, and they could never form any type of life, not even a single cell organism.
We have made life in labs. We can make blood cells in labs.
Can you tell me the name of the experiment?
Sure.
So I can look it up.
Sure. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. A breakthrough in scientific world, lab-grown red blood cells used in transfusions. And it is in the Journal of Biotechnology Information. It is called Breakthrough in the Scientific World, Lab-Grown Red Blood Cells Used in Transfusions by Sri Sai Kale, Rohit Cody, and Sai Karan. And this is a study that demonstrates that. You want more studies?
Okay. Give me a name so I can look something up, something on Google real quick.
I gave you the name, sir. You want it again? You weren't listening?
Just a name, just a simple name.
It's called Breakthrough in the Scientific World, Lab-Grown Red Blood Cells Used in Transfusions.
Okay, so they those cells, they created life. Any species?
Yep, cells are living things. Yes, we make life.
Species? What's the species called that they created?
It's a red blood cell, sir. It's a cell. It's a
So
human
cell
cell.
is a part of something that's alive. All living things. All living things have cells. A cell is not a living thing.
A cell's a living thing, sir. Cells are living.
Living things are made of cells. See, that's where you're confused. You're against science. Also, have you heard about this?
Cells, sir, all cells are living things. You didn't know that?
Okay, have you heard the saying? Life can't come from without life.
Yeah, that's
Life
stupid.
comes
That's
only from life.
garbage. That's baloney. Life
That's
only
science.
comes from non-life. Life only comes from non-life.
Nope.
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Wait,
Okay,
no,
we
no,
came from monkeys, and we're still monkeys.
just because you don't understand science does not mean that you have the right to come up to my life and fuck it all up and butcher the science. We know that abiogenesis is a very good idea that demonstrates that you can get life from non-life. Go look up abiogenesis.
Can I ask you a question?
You got one shot. Make it good.
Okay. All right. It's gonna be good. So if why don't like 80 or 90% of scientists agree that there's no creator? Why there's like 55% of scientists that know there's a creator? More than half of scientists know there's a creator.
They don't. People believe in all kinds of things. It doesn't mean does not make them right.
I'm talking about people that actually know what they're talking about, not you. Someone that actually knows what they're talking about.
It's cute, sir, but give me one scientist that have demonstrated God exists.
Like I said, I'm not prepared. I'm charging my phone in my other room.
Yeah. How convenient. How convenient.
But look it up. Look it up. There, more than half of scientists, I'm talking about actual scientists, not paid scientists.
Name me one scientist that demonstrates there's a God.
If you give me time and you're patient.
Let me
see,
think.
life can't form out of non-living matter. Life can't form out of non-living matter.
I'm cutting out. Gotta go. Next.
What's up, Peter Peter?
Hey, what do you got?
So, what scientist do you follow that says there is no God?
I don't listen to scientists when it comes to their beliefs.
So you
I
can't
listen to
come
the
up with
data and
something
the
now,
evidence.
huh? So anybody else that you're asking questions to, if they can't come up with something, they're stupid.
This
But
is a
since you
complete
can't come
dom-
up with something, you're the smart guy? Dude,
This
you're a
is-
fucking retard.
Oh, is this the Christian love you guys talk about? Is this Jesus love?
Well, where's your love at, brother?
Jesus loves me.
Aren't you the one that was on here like a week ago talking about being a
Died for
vegan?
me on a cross. He loves you. He made you, sir.
I love you. I love you.
I love you more.
You have a vegan nose.
No, your God made it. Jesus made it for me.
Well, at least you acknowledge that.
Well, at least Jesus loves you more than me, sir. You're gonna
Well,
go
he
to heaven.
probably does because Jesus wants people to eat meat.
Yeah, he wants people to kill animals for no reason. If your God is not a vegan, he's a bad, bad God. All right, that was very, very nice. Let's see the next victim in here. Yeah, Christian love is so beautiful. They're so kind.
Hello,
Hey, what do you got?
how are you?
Great. What is your evidence for God?
Yes, you're talking true. Yes, actually, nobody have seen God, so it's imagine like
Next. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, how's it going?
What's your argument?
Well, I tapped in because I don't have an argument. I just want to say that I agree with you. I believe that religion is just.
Hey, what do you got?
Well, in the essence that you're a very bad radio talk show host, I mean that's how you come off. But anyway, why is it that you have such a hatred for God?
Why do you hate Santa Claus? What did Santa do to you, sir, that when you hate him so much?
I don't hate Santa Claus, but why do you hate God?
Why don't you hate Santa Claus?
I asked you the question. Why don't you answer?
Why don't you hate Santa?
I don't even know who Santa is, but I don't know
I
what
don't
you're
know who
talking
God
about.
is. That's why I don't. That's why I don't hate him.
So, and I guess that is the ultimate problem for you, and I'm sorry for that.
Okay, great. Then give me an argument for your Sky Daddy. Let's hear it. Your
I've
best
heard you
argument.
talk about Sky Daddy all along. You know what?
Mm,
Let me ask you this. I mean, um,
no argument. No argument.
what's your favorite book?
Oh, is this a Q&A now?
No, I'm just asking you what your favorite book is.
Oh, so
Your
this is a
favorite book that
Q&A.
you've read.
Sir, you're not going to turn this live into a Q&A, sir. This is not your
I'm
little
not.
church. You give us evidence
I'm
of your
not
God.
turning
Go
into
away.
Q&A.
Give us
I'm
evidence of
going
God
down a
or go
line of
away.
questioning to prove to you
Give me evidence of
why
God or
God
go
is not
away.
imaginary.
Give me
If you don't
evidence
want
of
to
God
hear
or
it,
go away.
and if you won't answer the questions,
You guys think you're going to interrogate me with questions that don't mean anything? What's your favorite book? Cat in the Hat. How does that have any bearing on the truth value of a God? It doesn't. No matter what I say, it doesn't prove God exists. What's your favorite book? No matter what I say, it does not mean God is real. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, sir.
What's your proof of God? What's your argument for God?
So, who was the first person that was created?
There was no first person.
What do you mean there was no first person?
There's something called evolution, which debunks the idea of a first person because evolution happens on a population basis, not an individual basis.
So, what you're saying is that something came out of nothing.
No, that's what you're saying. What you're saying is one day God got bored and magically threw his magic wand in the air and said, "Let's make some people." Whoa, poof.
So, how do you explain all this diversity?
And we all just appeared in 6 days.
All
That's
these
what you
human beings, different colors, races. Where does that started from?
It's called phenotypical evolution, right? Skin colors are derived from the skin color, the melatonin, the skin's pigmentation in your skin cells. That's all that is. That's a phenotypical evolution, and that is there's many evolutionary pressures for that. Migrating out of Africa into northern climates where it's colder, vitamin D intake synthesis decreases, paler skin increases that. So that's one of the reasons why we evolved to have
Okay.
skin color.
So you're saying physics said, "Oh, let's create chickens, dogs, and let's say dinosaurs." That's what you're saying. Is that how physics was created, or how is that created?
Physics wasn't created. Dinosaurs are just a type of reptile that evolved about 300 million years ago. Everything since then has also branched out into different species. I don't really get the question here. Do you have an actual piece of evidence for a God or not?
Well, that's what I'm saying, sir. You're saying that you saying that no one created humans, or you said we came from Homo sapiens. You're creating the Carlos Darwin theory, which I think is false.
Okay, sir. Evolution is a fact. We are apes. That's a fact. Get over it. Now, what is your proof of God? What is your evidence for God?
So, do you believe in the? Well, I'm not going to say that because you don't believe in anything. So, do you believe in the Virgin Mary?
No.
No.
I don't believe that a virgin can get pregnant. That's what you believe. You believe this garbage. You think a guy can walk on water. You think a guy can be born of a virgin. You think a guy can turn his body into bread like a muffin man. You believe that he can rise from the dead like a zombie. You believe in all kinds of garbage. It's garbage. Give us evidence or go away. Hurry up.
All right, sir. So you really don't want to. I don't think there's every time somebody's trying to come across a.
Yeah. Go away. Next. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Hello?
I'm
Denny?
sorry. Hi.
Hi. What's your proof of God?
I didn't mean to get on here. I was just listening. But I'm in.
Hello.
Hey, what's your argument?
My argument? No, I just want to prove that God is real.
Great. What is it?
God is real because I exist.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What about your existence means God's real?
I mean, I'm perfect, you know? I'm God's favorite child.
Me too. I'm this perfect child, not you, me. He loves me more. I'm getting more candy in heaven. I'm getting more virgins. What do you got?
Hello.
Hello.
I guess I'm the opposite. I guess I'm the opposite. You're looking for somebody who believes in God, right? And to prove you wrong. I am kind of on your side in that way. So
go away. Next.
It was good.
How old are you?
16.
Okay, go watch Barney, sir. I think Sesame Street's on. I think you're missing Sesame Street right now. Hello?
Oh,
Hey, what
I'm
do you
Johnny.
got?
Okay, so if you look at a painting, you know that there's a artist behind it, eh?
Right.
Yeah, so it doesn't just paint itself. And so when you look at a watch, you know that there's a creator behind it, you know?
Yeah, and when I look at rain coming down from the sky, I know that there's somebody in the clouds with a hose spraying us down, right? And when
Know
I
that
see a
there's
volcano, I think there's somebody in the volcano with magma going pushing out the magma, right? And when
I
I see
just
a river,
want
and when I
to
see
know
rivers, and
God actually
that means
provided
somebody
the
dug
fish.
out the rivers to pour the water there. And when I see the oceans, that means somebody poured the salt in there and poured all the water in the oceans, right?
God created everything.
No.
And you know,
Sir,
when you look
sir,
at the
sir,
even
sir,
you I
So listen. Just
it's
because
pretty right.
no, not right. It is appealing to look at a painting and go, look, there has to be a painter, therefore the universe has a painter. But I'm sorry, it doesn't work because there are instances like rain or volcanoes or rivers where we know they form naturally. There's natural mechanisms that explain why they exist that way. So you can't just say, you can't use the agent example for everything in the universe when there are natural things, there's natural examples. So perhaps the universe is a natural thing. You don't need an agency behind it. That's why your argument fails. This is like logic 101, right? Like this is like the basics of the basics. Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's your argument?
Yes, I would just like to say that I believe in God because there's three reasons. And I didn't believe in God till I was like 29 years old. But
Okay, great. I don't need your backstory, sir. Can you get to the arguments?
okay, one, cause and effect. I believe God is the cause, and we are the effect. I believe the whole universe was created by God.
These are
Because
not arguments. These are not arguments, sir. These are claims. These are claims, sir.
Because if you say that nothing comes from nothing, that's irrational.
I don't believe that, sir. I don't believe that. The universe could have always existed, or if there was a cause, it could have been a natural cause. Do you agree?
No.
Okay, why can't there be? Why can't there be a natural cause? Why can't the universe be infinite?
Like nothing would create nothing. Like
That's not what I said, sir. That's not what I said at all. That's not what I said at all. What I said was this: the universe can be infinite without a cause. Is that possible?
The infinite without what?
A cause. No cause.
No, that's to me that's irrational.
Why?
To think
Why?
that
Where is the irrationality there?
because nothing can't create living things.
Okay. Life is an emergent process of non-living things, right? Do you know what an emergent process is?
No, I'm not familiar with that. Go ahead and explain that to me.
Yeah, okay. So emergent properties are properties that a collective has, but an individual thing doesn't. So like water, right? Water is wet, if I take one individual atom of water, it's not wet, or a molecule of water, it's not wet, right? Wetness emerges when you have multiple molecules of water interacting with each other. That's emergence. The same applies to life. Life is an emergent property of non-living things. A bunch of non-living things work together, and the emergence of that is life. So that's what explains life physically, naturally. You don't need God to explain that.
For me, I do. And
Well,
then
for
for
you,
the other,
isn't evidence you're a good explanation.
there's two other things that I
You
adhere.
didn't have one thing yet.
No, I did have cause and effect. That's what I believe. Like your standard of truth is.
All right. Have a good day, sir. I don't want your beliefs. I want your evidence. Anybody can believe. A monkey can do that. Anybody with a brainstem can do that.
Hello.
But I want evidence.
Oh, is this on?
What do you got?
Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. I'll keep this brief. I am Muslim, and I've asked this question a million times myself. So I went to the Quran to look for numerical kind of evidence. And there's a few that I found quite interesting. I don't know if this will make you guys believe or not.
We can't hear you, ma'am. We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, can I hear you? Okay. Oh, sorry. I kind of went off it. Yeah, so there's a couple of numerical things that are quite cool in it. One being, in the Quran, day is mentioned. Oh, sorry, no, I think it's day. Day is mentioned 365 days, 365 times on the dot. Things like week and so basically 365 days, 30 days is also mentioned. Like month, the word Sahara as month is mentioned 30 times. Water, which is really interesting. Water is mentioned, I don't know how many times, like 35 times, say, and land is mentioned a certain amount of times. And if you look at the proportion of it, it's exactly how we see the proportion of water and land now. So I think water is 71%, land is
Okay. So is it possible that these are just coincidences?
So this is what I kind of looked into. The Quran is 1,500 years old. So my logic is with something, and the Quran we believe was never tapered with in between.
Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Is it possible that those things you just mentioned are trivial coincidences?
Okay. So say if those are trivial coincidences, let's take those aside. I guess there's other mentions of how bees work or the embryo works. Or,
yeah, but they all fail. But they all fail miserably. The Quran.
It also explains the universe expanding. So
no,
there's a whole verse about
No, it does not. No, it does not. The Quran
I
is
can get you the verse up now.
Listen,
if I really,
listen. The Quran is a bunch of garbage. It talks about talking snakes, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark. That shit never happened.
Of course it does. Yeah.
The earth. It says the earth revolves. It says the sun revolves around the earth, and the moon and all that stuff has an orbit around the earth.
Yep.
The Quran gets many things wrong about stars falling from the sky. That's ridiculous. It says that cow's milk is pure. That's ridiculous. Ants can talk language. That's ridiculous. The Quran is a bunch of fairy tales at best.
Okay, so that's not really listening out to anyone's point. You're just, okay, never mind. I do recommend looking into it. Look into scientific facts. It's really interesting.
I know the verses you're talking about. The Quran does never mention the Big Bang ever. It mentions a firmament, which is a literal dome around the earth, which doesn't exist. The Quran again is wrong.
But then, then it's always going to be your word against somebody else. If that's fair enough, like I respect your point of view. It's nothing.
Well, the problem is that Adam and Eve. Do you think there was an Adam and Eve?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, you're wrong because we can verify that you're wrong because there can't be a first person. Evolution's a fact, and it demonstrates that there can't be a first person. So by that, the Quran is wrong.
But that's because you believe in your scientific factors. You're fine. I believe in both the scientific stuff that I can see
No,
and
man.
alongside
Science is
religion.
based on evidence that we can verify. The Quran is based on fairy tales and garbage and gook.
Okay. But then can I ask, why is having a religion so bad?
Because your religion says we can beat people. Your
No,
religion
it
says we
doesn't.
can kill people.
It does
Oh,
not.
it does. Yes,
It
it does.
doesn't. It does not. Do you know
Yes, it does.
why? Because there's a verse
434.
that says people can't be. Do you know that the tap of a toothbrush? You can't hit anyone harder than that. Like a tap of a toothbrush. How hard is a tap of a toothbrush? Very
So you're
light.
saying that
You can't hit anyone.
you're saying if my wife disobeys me, as Quran 434 says, I can hit my wife with a toothbrush.
No, we don't know. But obviously, the simple. Oh, I mean, this could go on forever.
How do I hit my wife?
Why would you want to hit your wife?
No, because your Quran
No
allows
one should be doing that. No
Well,
one should be hitting their
your Quran
wife.
allows it. Your Quran allows it.
No, it does not.
Yes, it
No,
does. So
no.
what does 434 say?
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know the verses off by heart.
Okay, great. Then let's look at it.
Okay.
It says men are caretakers of women.
Mhm.
Since Allah has made some of them excel the others, the righteous women are obedient and honor their husbands.
And this is straight from Google.
As for women of whom you fear rebellion, convince them, leave them apart in beds, and then beat them. If they obey you, do not seek a way against them. This is in
And
434,
this is
man.
straight from Google. Or where?
It's in the Quran, Quran.com. It's the verse. Go read it.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, I don't know that specific verse, and I probably
Well, you should read
would
it
go
next
away.
time. You
But
should
then,
read it. You should read it
how
next
about
time.
other points? Okay, maybe let's take the more positive elements of it. I think that's kind of elements of the
There are
Quran,
no
simple
positives,
things.
man. What are the punishments for being an apostate in Islam? What happens to me if I become an apostate?
In what do you mean?
What are the consequences? What are the punishments of being an apostate in Islam?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's death. You die. You get killed according to Islam.
But then why are we focusing? Okay, this is what I was saying. Again, it's going back to like, again, is the way you want to see things, right? I have decided to look at the Quran
This is
and
what
pick
your
out
book says. You're just denying at this point, man. You're
which
just
is fine.
denying
It's
it.
just fine.
You're
Say if this is all
indoctrinated.
fairy, this is all made up, right?
You're
It's all made up.
indoctrinated.
I'm agreeing with you right now. It's all made up. But I still will choose to read that and pick out on key things, treating people well, not drinking alcohol. I decided to do that, and there's reasons why
Okay,
certain
well,
things,
okay,
and
well,
it made
that's good.
it
But
made me a better person.
the fact that what you just said demonstrates
Yep.
that we can achieve morality and a better life better than reading the Quran. You have to, in other words, in order for you to look at the Quran and analyze it, you had to come to your own conclusions about that. You don't just blindly follow the Quran. That's why we know your Quran is garbage. Because
No,
if you
but
followed
I
it
have
blindly,
been there
you would
where
lead
I've
to
I've done like not denounced it, but I've walked away from my faith because I didn't feel like I fit it. Came
Okay,
back,
great.
and that's how I got back in.
Okay, great.
But anyway, this is really interesting. But no, I respect your point.
I don't respect your point of view. No belief deserves respect, even my own.
Hello,
How old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, what's your evidence or argument?
My evidence. Okay, so ask yourself, how was everything here created? And also, I want to say this. Where is your evidence that God is imaginary?
Sure. So, the idea that we had to have come here from somebody or somebody had to create us is a malformed question. It begs the question that there's somebody doing it when we could be here naturally, necessarily, and eternally. When it comes to God's non-existence, we can take a look at things like the lack of evidence for God. We can take a look at things like the omniparadoxes, the free will omniscience paradox, the divine hiddenness problem, the problem of evil. These arguments are good arguments, I think, that justify reasons to not believe in a God and to think that it does not exist.
Oh, okay. So I see what you're trying to say here, but
Okay. Um,
Hey, what's up, man?
what do you got?
Nothing much. This is Jordan. I'm actually getting into this debate stuff. This is very interesting. Could you like expand on something you literally just said like 30 seconds ago? I think you said something about how you believe we could potentially be here eternally.
Yeah, so there are different models of the universe. There could be one in like Einstein's 4D block universe where time and space are seen as dimensions. Just like a block, right? You imagine a block like a square. Time is one side and space is another side of that, another dimension of that square. Now you think of a long square or rectangle that goes on forever. And there is, in that sense, there would be no start to time, no end to time. It's just a static thing that always exists, a block universe that just exists. And time is an emergent phenomenon. It's a relative phenomenon that happens to things within that confines of space-time. That's a possibility. It's also possible that the universe did begin at the Big Bang, but there's something that precedes it.
Okay, I'm understanding. I'm more understanding of what you're saying. So you're not necessarily getting at like humankind being eternal here in this universe. You're more so getting at the universe itself.
Yes.
Okay, bet for sure. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, so is God imaginary? I think I don't think God is imaginary, but I also think that he's quite the opposite. I don't think he is imaginary, but I do believe he is beyond our imagination. And why do I believe that?
So what's your argument for that? What's your evidence for this?
So, I mean, I just come from a standpoint of like this universe. First, let's just push God out the picture. And I'm not necessarily arguing from a religious standpoint. I'm kind of just I'm arguing from a, how do I put this? Philosophical standpoint. So when you think about the universe, like there is not one man that has ever lived on this earth, nor is there a man living today that can understand the universe in its entirety. So with that being said, the universe is beyond our imagination. Therefore, its origin is beyond our imagination. Therefore, however it came to be, I'm kind of repeating myself, but therefore, however this universe came to be is beyond our imagination. And so when we talk about God, like this question.
I think, so let me respond here. So there's a couple of things wrong with this.
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
When you say that it's beyond our imagination, that discounts the possibility that one day we might figure it out. It also discounts the possibility that maybe there is no real answer or ultimate answer to the universe. But more importantly, I think that it discounts the idea that perhaps that the universe can exist forever, and there could be a natural reason as to why it exists, and maybe there is no ultimate answer to it. So why did you discount that?
Hold up. Why? Can you like re-ask that question? I'm just trying to follow you. That's my bad.
Why did you discount the possibility that the universe could be one day known, or that there is no ultimate answer? Why did you discount those possibilities?
I believe that like gradually we can learn more about the universe, but I just believe that there is not going to be a person naturally like in this world that is going to understand the universe in its entirety. I genuinely don't believe that.
Hold on, just because we don't understand it doesn't mean God is what fills those gaps of our knowledge.
No, I get it, but that's also another argument that I kind of just think about it this way. There's things about this universe today that we don't understand. However, I think it's very interesting about how this entire universe makes sense before it made sense to us. So how can a universe make sense before somebody understands it? That means I don't think that's possible. I think the reason the universe makes sense is because somebody made it make sense. Does that make sense?
No, I think what's happening here is we live in a universe where we just exist and we are able to understand it because we evolved brains. We evolved ways to understand it in our own terms. And the the absolute ontology of the universe, the absolute nature of the universe is unknown and probably will always be unknown to us. We are simply people or agents that have the possibility to understand some aspects of this nature, well, whatever this reality is. We don't know the absolute knowledge of everything. So the point is that just because we don't know what the absolute nature of it is, doesn't mean that God might fill in those gaps. Right? I don't see what your point is here.
I get what you're saying. So, like, are you saying that, like, the universe is how it is, and us,
Yeah, it doesn't have
like,
to. There does not have to be an explanation for it. It could be a brute fact of
right,
reality.
exactly. And then, okay, so you're saying we essentially evolved into certain beings that could perceive the universe, and then we learned to make sense of it.
It's incredible. Now, it's incredible that we're here. Like, think about it. We are here. We're able to understand it. That's amazing to me. That boggles my mind. But at the same time, we have to be cautious as to start believing in things that might not make any sense at all. Maybe there's no reason for there to be an agent behind the universe. And look at how egotistical that is, to think that there's somebody doing it. Somebody cares about me. He died for me. He lived for me, right? These seem to be very egotistical, selfish things to believe in. That's why I withhold any belief in God until there's good reasons to believe it.
However, that's the thing. So you're stating that I guess when it comes to religion, that and yeah, no, I will make sure that before I say anything else, I do agree that there are a lot of religions out there that suggest that us as mankind are the center of, I guess, whatever is going on. However, when it comes to the religion that I believe, I actually don't want to disclose it, but I just want to say the religion that I believe. And I don't necessarily believe that we are the center of the universe. I believe that the God that I serve is the center, to be honest. But
great. What a coincidence. Yeah. What a coincidence that the God you happen to believe in is the center of everything, right? Look at how ridiculous that sounds.
Okay, no, go ahead. I'm listening.
We take a look at things like the pale blue dot, where we are one dot, one pixel on a gigantic portrait of the universe, a vast blackness and darkness, where we are just an island of stuff in an ocean of chaos, in an ocean of stuff. The idea that we are somehow the universe, or somehow the God we believe in is everything, the center of it, and he cares about us, seems very egotistical to me, let alone the fact that there's no evidence for it.
No, I get you. I would just think about it this way. Well, actually,
yeah, we're not going anywhere. Next, evidence should go away.
Oh man,
we got.
I think I agree with you for the most part. I also think well.
All right, let's go through some people here. I think I saw that one person before. She left. Hey, what do you got?
My favorite argument for the existence of God that I find the most compelling is a version of the cosmological argument, which goes like this. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. Something can't just come into being from nothing. Secondly, the universe began to exist. I think we have both good philosophical arguments and scientific evidence for the finitude of the past, from which it follows, third, therefore the universe has a cause. And when you do a conceptual analysis of what it is to be a cause of the universe, you arrive at a being which is an uncaused, beginningless, timeless, spaceless, enormous.
Spaceless. Okay. This is William Lane Craig, and he's a complete moron. The universe does not need a cause. The universe can be infinite. And when it comes to the properties of God, you're just giving it properties because it's an ad hoc assessment. You're just saying, well, there's space, time, and matter, so there's got to be somebody that's spaceless, timeless, and matterless. Like, that's a ridiculous assessment. It's not needed. It's not required. It's a garbage argument. By the way, it begs the question of a beginning when there's no need for a beginning, let alone the fact that this argument does not get to a God. This argument can also be argued for naturalism. So it's a bad argument by far. But I thought it was actually William Lane Craig like talking. That'd be funny. There is a beginning. How do you know that? How do you know that? You don't know that. Yes, we do. No, you don't. You just say things. You don't give evidence for them.
Hello?
Hey, what do you got?
So my argument's strictly history based. And so things like, do you believe the Holocaust happened? Do you believe that Abraham Lincoln was shot? Do you believe the things that happened in the history books that you read that we're taught in school?
Yeah, because we have evidence for them. Now, what's your evidence for God, sir?
Well, the Bible is itself a history book. It's
No, it is not.
been
So
studied. It's been studied.
donkey,
It's
sir,
been
listen,
studied.
No,
Archaeologically proven. Archaeologically proven.
Stop.
Scientifically proven
No,
that
no,
the things that happen in the Bible.
Stop. The Bible talks about talking donkeys, talking snakes, giants, wizards, dragons, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, virgin births, walking on water, zombies. It is far from history, let alone fact. There is no reason to believe in the Bible being true at all. It's a book of fairy tales, mythology at best. Let alone the fact that there are no contemporary sources that actually are able to cross-reference with the biblical stories, let alone the fact that the gospel accounts are contradictory. You have no evidence for God except for a little piece of book that says God's real. That doesn't make it true. There are many thousands of other books out there that also say their gods are true. Give me more than just a book of fables, please. Give me actual evidence that is falsifiable.
But you're actually choosing to believe bits and pieces of history that you choose to believe, and then taking history apart and choosing not to believe those pieces. The Bible itself is proven. It's been archaeologically proven. It's been scientifically proven.
Sir, listen, stop. Do you believe in talking donkeys?
I believe that it could happen.
Oh, but it's not proven.
Well, how can you prove that and now?
Oh, so you can't prove the Bible. The Bible's not proven.
The Bible has been studied and proven.
Okay,
that
great.
chronologically,
is everything in the Bible
those
true?
things have happened.
Listen. Is everything in the Bible proven?
Okay, the assassination of Kennedy, right? That's in history.
Yes, because we have videos and photos and actual eyewitness accounts who are still living today. We actually have documentations. We have his body. We have Kennedy's body. I went to Lincoln's Ford Theater. We have his weapons. We have his clothing. We have his body. We have his butt. And we have his house. We have his documentation. We have his portraits and coins with his name and face on it. That is actual evidence. There is no evidence for a magic zombie guy who died for no reason on a stick. None of that is real.
Can you hear me? Okay, this is coming from a non-religious standpoint, but...
How old are you?
16.
All right, go watch Barney, buddy.
No.
You're missing some Sesame Street episodes. They're really good. Hey, what do you got? Hello?
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I can hear you. That's funny as fudge.
Hurry up.
What am I saying that's so bad that makes you want to make me want to hurry up?
You're yapping right now. That's what's
I
bad.
didn't even yap yet. God is imaginary. Can you prove me wrong? All right, check this out, bro. What's your position in life? What do you believe in? Real talk. Real talk. If you really got it. Like, okay, what do you believe in? What's your position?
I believe in Spaghetti Monster, who died for our sins. He boiled
Bro,
in
that's
the
what
pot for our sins.
That's what Blitz, Dr. Blitz, he says the same shit. You're jacking his
Yeah,
rhythm.
because this is a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question. It's the ultimate question. It's the
No, it's
ultimate
not.
question that the
Because
universe has been asking itself
the
multiple
universe,
times.
the universe.
How is it a dumb question
Listen,
when it's the
because
best question of
because
all
because
time?
it doesn't matter what you
It's the best
believe.
question ever to be asked.
Listen, sir, please listen. It doesn't
You
matter.
dummy.
It doesn't matter what we
Fucking loser.
believe. It doesn't matter what we believe. What matters is the evidence and the data that supports our beliefs. So believing in things is anybody can believe. I want data though. I want evidence and facts behind those beliefs.
Oh, it's so easy. Okay. All right. I believe that it's more logical to believe in God than it's not.
Okay, great. Where's your logic behind God?
What do you mean? It's like it's like obvious. It's almost obvious that there's someone higher above us that like implanted some kind of system in this universe.
Okay, great. So where's your logic? You said it's logical, so where's your logic?
The logic it exists inside of my brain. Like the same way you use logic to deny God, I use logic to imply that God exists.
So does me getting a BJ from your mom. It doesn't matter what's in my head. What matters
Dude, my
is
mom
can
doesn't
you
like you.
demonstrate?
I like
Can you
my.
give evidence
Okay.
for it?
I
Can you
think my mom is
demonstrate it?
hotter than your mom. By the way,
Can you
just like
demonstrate
a
God
fun
for us, sir?
fact.
Can you demonstrate God for us?
Bro, you're weird. But anyways,
And you're ignorant. You believe in
about
fairy
what?
tales.
About what? God is
You
imaginary?
believe in fairy tales, sir. Give
Bro,
us evidence or go away. Hurry up.
I already told you.
No, you didn't. You fumbled the game. You fucked up. You should have gave evidence, but you gave your opinions. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's your argument?
I believe that I'm the Godhead, and everyone is the Godhead, and the Godhead can never be another.
Okay, go take your pills, sir. Hello?
Hello,
Hey, what do you got for us today?
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mike, I have seen you in 3 accounts. You are the most fake person that I have ever seen. First of all, you are an imaginary. God is imaginary. Then you are, I believe in God. Oh my God, people, please get this guy is a loser. This guy is trying to get, you into this. Mike, please get a life. No, I got you. That's why you don't know what to do. Hello? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, keep on dancing. First of all, you pretend to be a Christian. Then you pretend to be an imaginary guy. Then you pretend to be everything.
Okay, man, I'm praying for you, man. I'm praying for you. Next. Spaghetti Monster's gonna give you lots of meatballs.
How's it going, man?
What do you got?
Can you prove to me that God is not imaginary?
Sure, which God do you believe in?
The only one, the Holy Spirit.
Oh, so you're a Christian. So is God all good?
No, I don't believe God is all good.
Oh, so God is evil?
I didn't say he was evil either. I just didn't say he was all good.
Okay.
Just because you're not all good doesn't make you
Is
evil.
God all loving?
Yeah, I believe so.
God is all loving. So why is there evil in the world?
There will always be evil in the world.
Why? Why did God make an evil world?
Because there will always be assholes in this world. nobody will ever change that.
But who made the world? God, right? So isn't God responsible for the evil?
Absolutely not. He's not. He's not responsible for creating people to be a certain way.
Right.
He
But
is the creator of people, but he is not the
all right, so
creator.
does
But
God
can I say
does
my
God
statement?
ever
I can't say my statement. That's right.
does God ever do good, or does God ever do bad?
Yeah,
God does evil things.
I didn't say he did evil things. Everybody makes wrongs.
Okay. Does God ever do evil things?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Does
I
God
think
have
he
free
does.
will?
I think that he does wrong. Why are you gonna roll your eyes?
God
Why
does
can't
wrong
I
things?
say something? Why can't I
Sir,
say something?
are you Christian? This is
Can
insanity.
I say something or no? Why do you always interrupt in your live streams?
Because you don't answer questions directly.
Okay, but I am screen recording this because I'm going to repost it to expose who you are. So why do you always interrupt people in your live streams?
Because you don't give direct answers.
But you don't answer anything either.
I did.
I am. What? No, you did not.
Okay, great. Then ask the question so I can answer it again for you.
I did ask you a question, which
Okay,
you
what's the
tried
question?
avoiding.
What's the question?
I said, can you prove to me that God is not
Yeah,
imaginary?
I'm trying to
No,
I'm
you
trying to
didn't.
ask you what God you believe in so I can debunk it. I can't debunk your God if I don't know what it is.
No, I asked you, what God are you talking about then? Because you say God's is imaginary.
Yeah,
So what God are you talking about?
see,
What God are you talking
when I
about then?
say
What
so
God are
when I
you
say
talking about?
God's imaginary, what I'm saying it's most likely not real because of some reasons. We can take a look at the problem of evil, divine
But which
hiddenness,
God though? What God?
omnipresence.
What God though?
Yeah,
You're asking me what God? So what God are you talking about?
most people believe in the Christian God or the Muslim God, and these things we can debunk, right? Based
But
on
what God are you talking? But what God are you talking about?
the Christian God is the one you believe in, right?
What God are you talking about?
The Christian God.
That's the only one that you're referring to in your statement that God is imaginary.
No, that was the one I'm referring to right now because that's what you believe.
But I'm asking you on your statement that God is imaginary. What God are you referring to?
It depends on the definition.
No, it doesn't.
What
No,
God
it does
is.
not. You said God is imaginary.
Look,
You
listen.
said God is imaginary. So what God are you referring to? What God are you referring to? Answer the question.
If I say this is God,
what God are you referring to?
Listen. It depends on the definition of God. If I say this is God, well, then of course God is real, right? Because God is real. This is a bottle. Bottles are God. That means God.
I can't hear what you're saying.
But
I can't hear you.
But if your definition of God is something illogical, then it can't be real, right? So we have to actually take a look at what God you believe in.
But
So
what God are you talking about?
The Christian God.
That's the only God that you mean by God is imaginary.
No, I can also debunk the Muslim God. I can debunk the Muslim God, the Christian God, the Greek gods, all those other gods too. But the one you
So
believe
you're saying that every God that any religion believes in is absolutely wrong, is what you're stating.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can prove that every one of those beliefs is wrong.
Yeah, because
Is what you're stating.
entail in their definitions.
I am exposing you. I am recording this, by the way. I will expose this.
I'm recording it too, sir. What's your point? Okay,
no,
great.
I see the no, it's because
do you believe, sir?
listen,
sir. Listen. Do you believe in the Christian God or not?
Yes, I absolutely do.
Okay, great. So, do you think so? By many Christians, they think that God is all good. Do you agree?
Yeah. You haven't given me a reason on.
So now you agree that God is all good. You didn't say that from the beginning.
Oh no, I said that He does make mistakes. Absolutely.
God makes mistakes, even though
absolutely.
God isn't perfect. So God isn't perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
He's not. He's imperfect.
Everybody makes mistakes, brother. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Boot me from your live stream again?
The reason why is because most Christians
you remember me from last night, don't you? When I proved you wrong,
sir. Most Christians don't agree with you. Now, do you think that we have free will?
No, I don't.
Most Christians do think we have free will, right? So this is the problem, right? You don't believe in the Christian God anymore because the Christian God is a specific God.
So are you gonna when are
So
you gonna start proving to me that
your
God's
God is
that
incoherent.
God is not?
Your God is incoherent, so I can't debunk it because it doesn't even make any sense. There's nothing for me to debunk. It is a conglomeration and
So
nonsense.
when are you gonna start proving me wrong about God not being real?
Wait, God's not real?
Yeah, apparently
Because
not.
you have not given us any evidence of a God, and that's good reason to
You
not.
haven't given me anything. I asked you a question and you return it with a question.
Wait.
You answer a question. You answer a question with
I
a
gave you
question.
instances.
That's
I
what
gave you
you
instances.
do on your live streams. You answer your questions with a question.
Listen, sir, please listen. I gave you instances where if God isn't, if there's certain things are entailed by your God, I can debunk those things. The divine hiddenness, problem of evil, the omniparadoxes, right? The free will omniscience paradox. If you don't agree to that God, then I can't debunk it. That's like, if this is God to you, I can't debunk it. It's a bottle. It's real, right? There are some gods I can't debunk, depending on the definition. So your God doesn't make any sense to me. It's incoherent babble. That's why I can't debunk it until you give me more reason, until you give me more like definition of it. So what God do you believe in?
So you can't debunk it. So how can you argue that he's imaginary? If you can't debunk it, how can you argue that he's imaginary?
Because there's no evidence for it.
Exactly. So how can you debunk it if he is imaginary in your mind?
I'm not saying I'm not saying I can debunk every God. What I'm saying is there's no reason to believe in any gods. But furthermore, depending on the definition of your God, I can debunk it if there's logical inconsistency.
But if you don't have any proof and I don't have any proof, how does that make you more right than me?
Because I'm not saying I have proof. What I'm saying is we have good reasons to not believe in God.
Oh, you have better reason than me.
Yeah, we have better reasons to not believe in God than to believe it.
You have better reasons to not believe in God than I do to believe in God.
Exactly.
Do you realize how absurd that sounds, right?
Why?
You realize how absurd that sounds.
Why is it absurd?
Why? Because you're saying that your belief over my belief is better than mine.
No, what I'm saying is
that is ridiculous.
There's more reason.
No, that is exactly
what I'm saying is there's more reason.
No, there's not. You don't have any reasons.
Listen. There are more reasons.
I'm listening to you, but you don't have any reasons.
Okay. There are more reasons to not believe in God than to believe in God. Number one, mainly being there is no evidence of a God. That's a reason to not believe. There's no evidence. Do you agree?
I disagree. I think there is more evidence proving that there is a God.
Then give me evidence.
There is so much evidence from the ancient times back all the way dated to the pyramids of a higher power that and he's gonna rub his eyes.
Go ahead.
Give us but guess what? You don't have any proof. All you're saying is there's no proof, therefore there's no God.
No, what I'm saying is give me evidence.
That's what you're saying.
Give me evidence. Prove me wrong.
Like I just said, there is so much proof back all the way dated to the ancient times of the pyramids showing a higher power. And if you are that delusional that you haven't done research on that,
sir, those are drawings.
Those are drawings. Yeah, they just doodled that stuff on. Let's just doodle this right here. We'll doodle this right here.
Where's your evidence that they're real?
Where's your evidence? What's your evidence?
There's no evidence that they're real.
You don't have any evidence to prove me that it doesn't exist.
I'm not saying I can prove it. Sir, listen. I'm not saying I can prove. Sir, I am not saying I can prove there's no God. What I'm saying is there's no good reason to believe in a God. Hence, I think it's imaginary. Now,
but there's no good reason to prove there isn't one either.
Yes, there is. The lack of evidence for God is evidence of absence. Now, can you give us?
But what about the lack of evidence proving there isn't one?
Don't do that. Come inside.
What does that even mean?
The lack of evidence proving there isn't one.
God is an ambiguous word. It means nothing until defined. So when you say,
but you're saying there's lack of evidence proving there is one. But
when you say prove God doesn't exist, I don't know what that means. You need to define your God. What you're not doing. That's why I'm asking you to give me reasons to believe. That's why I'm asking you to give me evidence of God or even a definition of God. You're not giving me anything to go with. The debate is that you are supposed to come up and give me a definition and good reasons to believe in God so you can prove me wrong. I'm not saying I know for sure that God's imaginary. I'm saying that's what I seem to believe in because of the lack of evidence and for those other reasons. it is most likely the case that God's not real. That's my position. Now, can you prove me wrong? Can you give me any evidence to sway me towards God? Let's hear it.
Well, as you said, there is reasons for the way that you believe that there's no evidence that there is no God. As for me and the people that I've talked to, which obviously are you can't go off of what.
That's literally, that was just babbling nonsense. That's all he did. Thank you for the galaxy. Thank you.
Love your content. I follow a similar live in Spanish.
He exposed me. He recorded this. Dude, I'm recording you too. And by the way, you can't record if you're speaking. You don't hear yourself talking. Hello?
These nuts.
People are so anxious, right? They're so like anxious to come up here and go, "I've got you, Mike. I'm gonna get you." Like, but if they just relaxed for a second and realized that they can form a coherent argument, then they'd be fine. But instead, they want to just come up. You're wrong.
So you said there's no good reason to believe in God.
Yeah.
So what about the millions of testimonies of people that have ended addictions because of their belief in God? Is that not a good reason?
They ended their what?
I said the millions of people that have ended their addictions to alcohol, drugs.
Oh, I can end an addiction without God too. Like,
but I'm saying people have done it
that.
because of God. So is that not a good reason to believe in God?
No, because people can leave addictions without believing in God. I know atheists who left addictions.
Yeah, but you asked there's no good reason to believe in God. That's a reason.
No, it's not a good reason.
You're not going to be honest?
See, reasons are good, right?
Oh, it's not a good reason? So how do you know if a reason's good or not?
Based on the evidence that supports it. And there is no...
Based on the evidence that you support it, you mean?
Hold on. The reason why there's no evidence behind this claim is because we can explain it with a natural idea. We can explain it by saying, well, there's a mechanism in the brain that allows us to get rid of our addictions naturally, without God, without prayer. That's why it's not evidence.
Listen, I didn't say the only way to do this is with God. What I'm saying is you said there's no good reason to believe in God, and I gave you a good reason.
You don't have a reason. Then you don't have a reason.
I gave you a good reason. I gave you a good reason.
You did not.
Millions of people have turned their life to do better because they believe in God.
And millions of people turn their life better because they don't believe in God.
But that doesn't disprove that that's still a good reason to believe in God.
No, it is not a good reason because we
So how do you know what a good reason is?
Something else.
What's your definition of good?
Based on the evidence that supports it.
What's your definition of good?
Sufficient evidence to warrant that claim.
That's not what the definition of good is. That's a definition of, like, I don't know, a study.
Definition of a good reason. When you have enough evidence to support a claim.
No, I said, what's your definition of good?
In terms of what? Morality?
Well, you're saying there's no good reason to believe in God, and I gave you reasons that I believe are good, and you don't believe are good.
When I say there's no good reason, what I mean is there is no good evidence or data that supports this thing. It doesn't point to any specific conclusion. That's evidence.
Wait,
right?
There's data and there's evidence. There's millions of people that have turned their life to do better because they believe in God. How is that not evidence to you?
Because that data can lead to another conclusion, just as good.
If you want to push another conclusion, but these people have turned their life and they said, because I believe in Jesus.
RC, listen. When we have evidence for something, what it means is that one conclusion it points to one conclusion. That's evidence. A bad reason is when you have a specific data that points to different conclusions. That's bad reasoning, right? Good reasoning is when it leads to one conclusion over another. That's why what you presented is not evidence, because it leads to multiple conclusions just as equally.
But to those people's individual lives, they said, because I believe in Christ and that's the standard I follow, I chose to do better.
That's anecdotal, right?
It's not anecdotal. That's millions of people. You can't just write that off as nothing. That's millions of people.
Still anecdotal.
Yeah, it's a good reason to believe in God.
Why is it a good reason when we can conclude different things from it?
Because you asked for a good reason, and I'm giving you one, and you're rejecting it
No,
because you don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept
Now
that
you're-
people can turn to Christ and do better with their life.
RC, listen. You went in circles. I'm asking you, why is this a good reason when it points to multiple conclusions just as well, if not better?
Okay, so let me go with your framework then. You're saying because there's multiple conclusions that can be formed, it's not a good reason. Well, you can say that an atheist person stopped their addiction because of reasons that are not of God. And I can say, well, people stop their addiction because of reasons that are of God.
So this is why this is a bad reason. This is why this is a bad reason.
So give me a good reason for someone to stop their addiction.
I never said there's a good reason. What do you mean?
There's no good reason, there's no good standard someone could follow to stop an addiction?
So what the evidence demonstrates is most likely that there is neurochemical reasons why people lose addictions. There's neurochemical reasons. Either dopamine
what's
or
a practice?
What's a
practice?
Serotonin, certain chemicals in the brain can be released in certain ways, and hence it can conclude that we leave addictions. That's
Mike, you're examining why an addiction stops, but what's a practice someone can do to stop an addiction?
We can measure brain states. We can do therapy. We can do all these.
That's measuring to see if the brain is still addicted. I'm saying from a day to day. Listen, you're not answering my question on purpose.
Therapy, pills, medicine.
Okay, but people can also turn to God, and there's millions of reasons that that's a good thing to do because millions of testimonies of this.
No, testimonies don't mean jack shit if they're
What do you
not
mean
falsifying.
testimonies of therapy then? What about people going to therapy and saying this is my testimony that my therapist helped me?
Because
So
that's
that doesn't mean shit.
falsifiable. Because those are falsifiable and testable. Prayer is
So
not.
is someone's belief in God, just like
No, it is
someone's
not.
belief in a therapist helping.
No, it is not. The belief in God is unfalsifiable by definition.
Wow, you are being so bad faith, it's unbelievable.
Why?
I really think you're angry with God for whatever reason. That's why you do this every day. And because I just gave you a very valid reason. People can have testimony of going to therapy and saying that helped me. Other people can say going to church and following Jesus Christ helped me, and you're rejecting that.
But the problem is that what you are saying can lead to multiple conclusions, and what I'm saying leads to one conclusion. The evidence points to the fact that our neurochemistry causes this to happen. There's no reason to think a God did it.
And there's no reason to think a therapist did it. It's just neurochemistry in the brain, right?
Yes, because we can falsify therapy.
Oh,
But
it's just neurochemistry, though.
We can do studies on therapists, and we can do studies on people that are patients, and we can measure their changes.
Can you not do studies on people that are Christians that are following Christ? You can't do the same set of studies?
We can do studies, but they're not repeatable. And by the way, it doesn't work. Prayer doesn't work.
Wait, how can you say that? That's not even true to billions of people.
They demonstrate that prayer works.
But listen. You can do studies on people that go to therapy to see if therapy's helping through neurological processes that you can study. Same thing with people that are going to church and praying to Jesus Christ. You can do studies on them.
Do it. Where's your study on it?
Millions of testimonies of people.
No, that's not a study. Wait. That's not a study, sir. Testimonies are not studies.
You're being bad faith. So where's your study? Where's your study on therapy?
I'm asking for peer-reviewed research that demonstrates prayer can leave your addiction, can change your addiction. Do you have that study?
Why are you going to ask me for a study and then mute my mic?
Show me research, because you're making the claim that prayer is falsifiable. Let's hear it.
When there's billions of people that have said my life has changed, but you don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept any reason that people's believing in God has helped them. You don't want to believe it. You want to reject any positive thing about God.
It's not falsifiable.
It is. You can go and look at Christians' lives that were once addicts and are no longer an addict because they followed Christ.
No, because there is no.
No, yes.
Listen. There is no God. That's why we can't falsify it. There's no good reason to
How do
believe
you
in
know
God.
there's no? You already said you can't prove that there's not a
Listen,
God. So now you're
listen.
now you're
There's
contradicting yourself.
no good reason to believe in a God. That's
No,
why
you said there is no God. So now you're contradicting yourself,
there
Mike.
is no good reason to
Now
believe
you're
in
switching
God.
up. But you
Sir,
said there
listen,
is no God.
there is no good reason to believe in a God.
It's
That's
crazy.
why, and every time you pray, it is not falsifiable. We cannot falsify prayers. We cannot perform tests on prayers to demonstrate that it actually repeatedly leads to certain
Why are you
results and
muting me?
conclusions. That's why prayers don't work. Okay? But when it comes to science and medicine, we can put people through therapy and we can do studies on things like pills and medicines that lead them to leaving their addictions. So please give me a scientific source that demonstrates prayer works.
Why are you muting me? You just want to talk over me. You want to force your narrative. You want to reject God. You don't want to hear anything positive about
You're not
God.
giving any data.
You're not letting me speak.
Because you're not giving data.
You're giving data. Millions of Christians is data. That's hard data.
It's data,
That's
but it
not,
does
that
not
is
demonstrate
data.
anything.
It's data you're
It does not
rejecting.
demonstrate anything, sir. You just have people that say things. That's not falsifiable.
So millions of people going to therapy saying that has changed my life. Is that data?
Yes, because we
but
can
but
falsify
that's
that.
data. But millions of people going to church
No,
saying that
no,
changed.
sir. Listen. We don't just say people go to therapy and they change. There's
Keep muting me,
behind
bro.
it. Sir, listen. We have studies and research that demonstrate therapy works. It changes people. That's why there are scientists that are behind, like, and psychologists that do this. They study this stuff in the brain. The brain can do this. There's no reason why God has to be invoked at all. You have not given us any actual falsifiable data that demonstrates God helped people go out of addictions. Give the evidence or go away.
You see, you're so mad. I'm giving you evidence and you're rejecting it. I give you.
Nope, you didn't give evidence. You've said that people pray and therefore they get better. That is not evidence. That is not falsifiable. That is just spouting garbage. But nice try, buddy. Nice try. Evidence points us to one conclusion. Prayer does not.
Hello.
Hey,
How
what do you
you
got?
doing?
Great, what do you got?
Well, one thing is, okay, everybody has a belief. You have a belief of Scientology, correct?
No, Scientology is a religion. Science is not a religion. Science is a method.
So what do you believe in?
Facts.
Okay. So what facts do you have that God doesn't exist?
I never said God doesn't exist. What I'm saying is there's no good reason to believe in a God. Do you have any?
Well, God is imaginary, right? That's what you have
Yeah,
here, right?
that's what it seems to
Okay.
be like. It seems that God's imaginary because you can't give evidence for it. Do you have any?
Well, there is magic out there. How is magic?
Give an example of magic.
Okay. Everything from Earth. People
What?
use energy. Everything is from the Earth. Who made Earth? How did the Earth form?
No, nobody made the Earth, ma'am. The
How?
Earth is a rock.
It's what?
No, it's a rock. It formed because of gravity, not
It's a
some
rock?
cosmic space daddy. Yeah, the
It's
Earth
a
is a
rock.
rock.
But where did it come from? From energy. Everything
Space.
came
It
from
came from space,
Earth,
ma'am.
light,
It's everything is in
from.
space.
So you like to be able to go ahead and do science. What do you use?
Observation and data and falsification.
Okay. So do you understand that is also creating something?
No,
What
it's
did
not.
God did?
No, man.
God created,
Do you have any actual evidence for magic?
yes, witches.
Okay, where's the witches?
See, it's
Where's the witches?
laughing. But okay, for example, elements from the earth we use. Okay, witches have connections with the elements. Where does the elements come from? It comes from God. Where does
How do you know
witches
this?
get?
How do you know, man? How do
Because
you know
I
this?
am spiritual.
I
I
don't give a
am
shit if you're fucking
gifted.
spiritual. I don't
Well,
care.
I'm giving
Give
you
us
example. You
evidence.
want to have a belief of
You're like the last guy. I'm giving you data. You're not giving me data. You're giving me your opinions that are unfalsifiable. Give me evidence. Evidence points us to one conclusion. That's evidence. So give it or go away. Go away. Okay, she doesn't know how to unmute herself. So next, the fact that these people can vote bothers me to my core. These people can vote. Hey, what do you got?
So I just want to start off with a question real quick first. Is that cool?
No, give us evidence or go away.
Oh, dang. Well, dude, I don't know. Because my first question really would just be, why don't you believe in God?
No evidence.
Hi, is the mic working?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So why I believe that God is real, is the Bible. I know you may not believe that, but I believe that the Bible is very accurate and very historically accurate.
If you believe it, sir, what is your evidence that the Bible is true?
Well, let me ask you this. How do we know that anything is true? How do we know that any wars happened? How do we know the Civil War happened? How do we know the Revolutionary War happened? All because of transcripts and scrolls that people wrote down in all books.
No. We actually have archaeological evidence behind wars. We actually have weapons and clothing and documentations and medals and all these things that correlate to a war happening. Independent pieces of data that cross-reference with each other to one specific conclusion. That's evidence. When it comes to the Bible, what you have is a conglomeration of garbage, mythology, talking dragons, talking snakes, giants, wizards, donkeys, talking donkeys, all this garbage that doesn't correlate to anything real. You have a book of fables, so either give evidence for these stupid fables or go away.
As I was getting to, with the evidence, I mean, it's Jesus rising from the dead.
How do you know
We know that
How do you know this? How do you know this?
because there were, I think it was 12 of his friends or so that stated that they all saw Jesus rise from the dead 3 days after.
Where is this?
He was
Where is this?
crucified.
Where do they see Jesus? Where's the evidence of this? Where's your source for that?
Again, relating back to my other statements, is how do we know anything in history has happened? Because it was written down and accurately transcribed. This is how we know wars. This is how we know about presidents.
All right. No, it is not. The claim of somebody rising from the dead is vastly different than somebody being president. Okay? One is supernatural, one is natural. Furthermore, all you have is a book. And by the way, the disciples, they weren't his friends, they were his disciples. They did not see or witness Jesus rise from the dead. That is nonsense. It's not in the Bible whatsoever. But even if it was, you have a book like Harry Potter, Cat in the Hat. These are just as viable as your Bible because they are both unfalsifiable garbage, drivel. They mean nothing unless they are falsifiable, and we can back them up with any evidence extra biblical. In other words, outside of the story. But you don't have that. Hence, you don't have evidence. So either give me extra biblical evidence of Jesus' resurrection or go away.
I'm getting that. You're interrupting me numerous times. But what I'm trying to get at is that there have been, 12, like you said, disciples or so that all stated the exact same thing. After Jesus rose from the dead.
What source is that?
In the Bible. Now, when they saw him rise from the dead, nobody believed him. Nobody believed that Jesus rose from the dead. And what they did was they tortured and murdered these disciples.
Sir, what verse says that the disciples saw Jesus rise?
I couldn't tell you the exact verse, but what I am saying is that
Okay.
Okay, are you going to keep interrupting me, or would you let me?
You don't have the verse. You have a book, a circular book where you're using the book to prove the claim. That's circular, sir. That's like using Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to prove that Harry Potter was a wizard. It's the book that says it. You need more than a book. So either give me more evidence or go away. This is your last chance, sir. I'm giving you lots of chances to redeem yourself and give us evidence. Please.
I am trying. You are interrupting me over and over and over again. What I am saying is that Jesus rose from the dead. 12 disciples saw that.
It's like we're going in circles. We're going in circles, like a mouse, like a gerbil on a wheel. That's what Christianity is like. You can't use a book to prove the book.
Hello?
You can't use the book to prove the book. Hello? You guys are all disagreeing with me, but how do you know that the Bible is true? Well, the Bible says it. See? See the circle now? You can't use the Bible as evidence because it's the claim. Hey, what do you got? You guys are trying to tag needgod.net, but he doesn't debate on TikTok. He debates little children on Omegle and thinks he does something. He debates 6-year-olds on Omegle. He wouldn't last a second in a debate with me.
Yo, can you hear me with mic on?
Can you give me proof that God's not real?
Sure, do you think God is all good?
Not 100%, but Jesus died on the cross for our sins.
Stop. Do you think God is all good? Yes or no?
Not 100% good.
You don't think God is good? Okay.
No, I said not 100%, not that he's not good. He's good in many ways, and he's also not good in like some ways.
What ways is he not good?
Well, for some people that like are like still people and they don't do anything really wrong, you'll still send them to hell. Like even just for not believing him and stuff like that. Like,
Okay, so here's an inconsistency in your view. How do you know that that's bad?
that what? Not believing him? Well, technically, I don't think it's bad, but for him, he thinks it's bad. There's like some stuff that I think's like not like right about him, but at the same time,
Oh my God.
he's still what?
I can't do this. You guys are making it up as you go. God is all good, but he's bad. Can you stick to a coherent story at least? You don't even have a coherent story.
Bro, it's been this since like June. What are you doing?
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, I believe God is real because I've seen him.
What color is he?
So I am a Hindu, so I believe in one of those dirty cows that you all to say. And I've seen God in my personal experience. You want me to tell you about it?
Dirty cows. Wow. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
What do you got?
Do you think that God is imaginary?
Yeah, there's no evidence for it.
And why do you think that?
Because there's no evidence for it. Can you give us evidence for God?
Well, there's clearly Bibles. There's multiple Bible stories about Jesus.
How old are you?
I'm 18,
What year were you born?
2005.
Okay. And you think that the Bible's true? Talking donkeys, dragons, giants, wizards, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, that's all true to you?
I'm pretty sure that all of the stories are real. It's just up to you if you really believe that God is real. Because
Okay,
there's
great.
plenty of stories that...
So demonstrate that talking donkeys exist.
I'm not saying that fucking talking donkeys exist. I'm talking about how Jesus exists and how he
Oh,
clearly creates your whole life path ahead of you and your future ahead of you. He knows everything that you do,
Oh my God.
everything that
Okay,
you
great, great, great,
choose.
great, great, great. So you're picking and choosing which verses you want to be true, which ones you don't. Because Numbers 22 demonstrates or says that donkeys can talk.
Okay, all right.
You think Shrek is real? Okay, next.
Hello, nice to meet you. And everyone have their own, experience about life. I'm spiritual, but I'm also a Christian Catholic.
Okay,
So,
great. So what's your evidence for your
so
Catholic?
I'm gonna explain to you what God is for me. So maybe it's not for everyone, but this is my proof of God. God is you. God is me. God is everything. God is the good thing that we believe in,
I'm
and
God?
God is the beautiful thing that makes us be hopeful.
Make a
You
universe?
know,
Can I make
can
things?
you listen and not don't be
What? I didn't hear you.
judgmental.
What did you say?
So you didn't hear me.
What? Okay, go away. We're God. We're all gods. Your mom's a god. You get a god. You get a god. This is Oprah. That was the best evidence for God we got today.
Hi.
What do you got?
Like, it is imaginary.
There's no evidence.
Bro. You know what's funny about you, Mr. Mike? Is that you sit here and try to say that God is imaginary. Boy, you don't even know. You were a Christian for how long, sir? How long were you a Christian for? Boy, what the fuck are you doing, sir? Bro? Who?
Huh? What? I'm just dancing.
Be fucking for real.
Says the one who believes in talking donkeys. Yeah. Next. Hey, what do you got?
Hey,
What do you got?
well, I was brought up. Can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
Look, I don't believe.
Okay.
However, I do feel like there is a force, bigger than us. You know what I mean?
Oh, like an elephant? Like a rocket ship?
No, not an elephant. Just
What's bigger
a,
than an elephant? A rocket plane? That's got
no,
force.
our bodies are made of energy, and like when our soul leaves our body, we
Okay,
just
like,
float the earth.
oh, I know. A star. A star's got force.
No, I'm more into like science.
Black hole?
Like, it has to be
Black hole?
science. Not the black hole theory. Just like whatever we can see is what we believe, really. But it's
Right.
all about energy.
Right. Energy. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. And now where's your evidence for this garbage?
Well, when I was 7, I saw a ghost.
What do you look like?
No, it wasn't, it was like more like an apparition, but I couldn't sleep in my own room for a few days.
Was he Asian? Was he black? Was he white? What was he?
It was like an apparition, just like a white silhouette.
White guy? All right. Was he pale? Was he like Caucasian? Olive?
All I know is my mom slept in my room that night and I was asleep. And I don't know, it was probably around 4 or 5 in the morning. My mom saw the same thing.
Oh, you were
And
sleeping.
she's a full-grown, yeah, she was a full-grown adult,
Okay.
So,
It's possible that you had a sleep paralysis episode or hallucination or a dream.
no, I haven't experienced sleep paralysis before, to be honest.
Maybe you have, you just don't know.
No, you would know because you're still consciously aware if you're having a sleep paralysis.
Barely. Well, when you're dreaming, it's hard to tell what's fake or real, right? So it's like you could have been in a brain state where it's hard to distinguish reality from fantasy. You could have been there. How would you discount the possibility that it was a hallucination? Why can't it be
Have you ever had a sleep paralysis? Like, have you ever experienced anything like that?
I've had, yeah.
So how did that make you feel?
It was scary, but it was very surreal.
That's fair.
Yeah. And what explains this is brain states, right? What explains this is the fact that our brains are fucked, like they're bad. Like we get mistaken many times. We can we forget things. Our brains fuck up. We get deja vu. So these are I'm not saying there's no such thing as a ghost, but we need more evidence than just I saw a white guy. Like we need more than that.
Yeah, I understand. I respect. I respect your.
I'm open.
I respect your ideology to all of.
I'm open to it.
Hello.
What do you got?
Okay, so I've been listening to this for a little bit, and so the debate is that there's no physical evidence that God's real. Correct.
There's no evidence, period.
So my background is in science, and I'm also Christian, and I've written papers on this in college before for philosophy. I don't remember which other class, but as far as physical evidence, I was just looking up online right now, and there's evidence for the dimensions of Noah's Ark that are the exact dimensions. I don't know where it was found, but if you look it up, you'll find it, and it's actually pretty interesting.
Noah's Ark, man. Noah's Ark, please.
How is that not physical evidence?
There is no ark.
Look it up on. I highly suggest you to look it up online right now.
Please don't do this to me. There is no ark. Where's your source? Where's your source?
If you look it up online, you'll find multiple sources.
No. I can look up a flat Earth on the internet, ma'am. It's the internet. I want a scientific source.
When you're looking for peer-reviewed research, then am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you look it up online, you will find it for multiple different things that are in the Bible.
No, don't do this, ma'am. Give me a source, please. Give me a study.
Oh, do you know how to search on the internet? You'll find your source.
I can search a flat Earth on the internet, ma'am. This is the point. Anybody can search anything on the internet. I'm asking for a source. If you don't have a source, then I'm not going to search forever and find nothing. I actually have searched before. There is no scientific evidence of a fucking ark.
There's physical evidence. I don't have the exact source for you.
Next time you come up, give an actual source before you embarrass yourself.
I'm not embarrassing myself, but I will say for the people who have spoken before, when you're in.
Next. There is no source. There is no fucking ark, guys. If you believe in the ark in 2023, that is embarrassing. An ark is not possible. It's literally not possible. Go learn some science. There are fossils on the high mountains. The reason why is because of plate tectonics.
Yo.
Not God. What do you got?
Dude, God is so real, man.
Great. Where is he?
I don't know, man. Every night I go in my backyard and I just look up at the stars. I'm just wondering to myself, wow, how did he do this?
Wow. How did he do this?
How did he do this?
Cancer, diabetes, starvation,
I
cancer.
mean, God,
It's
I think
amazing.
God was crazy when he made your
Bacterial
nostrils that large.
infections, diseases. That's amazing. How did
Dude,
he
God
do
was
that?
amazing when he made your nostrils that large. You look like oh my
Your
God, you look some type of creature.
your mom sat on it. That's why it's big, because your mom sits
Look
on it
at
every
your
night.
face. You need a
Oh my
shave,
God.
buddy.
My face is sexier than you'll ever
You
be in
look
your life.
nasty, buddy. You look very nasty.
Why did God make that? That's amazing. Why did
Your
God make
your
my
nose could
nose?
cut
Why did God
diamonds.
make my penis so large?
Your nose could cut diamonds, bro. That shit is crazy.
You know what they say about large noses? Next. Hey, what do you got?
I got a question.
Where's your evidence? I don't want a question. This isn't Dr. Phil. Give
But
us
it could be a
evidence
good
or go
question to
away.
the evidence that I have.
I'm giving you
You
one
look
chance.
so
One
you look
chance.
you look so annoyed right now. All right, so let me ask you.
Wonder why?
So you don't believe in God, right?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in the devil?
No.
You don't
What
believe
the
in the
fuck?
devil?
No.
Okay, so answer me this. Why do most rappers nowadays and most singers have what in the lyrics about the devil? Why? Answer that.
Sir, how about the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia"? Does that mean that the guy was talking
No.
about
Not
really a
those.
devil?
Not the past
The devil
songs. I'm
went
talking
down
about
to Georgia. He
nowadays.
was
Every
looking for a
fucking
soul to
rapper
steal.
nowadays.
He was in a bind. He was
Now
way
every
behind to
rapper
get
every
me able
days
to
has
steal.
talked about selling their soul. Has talked about what the devil does.
The devil went down to Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a mine. He was way behind to get me a bit of a bill. Guys, it's a lyric of a song. It's not real. How gullible can you be to listen to a lyric and think that that's real? One more. I can't do this any longer, guys. One more guest. I can't. What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
All right, I'll keep it quick. Last dude, terrible take. I agree with you on that. The lyrics, stupid take. This take though is to rebound off of your take, which is, you know what they say about big noses, which I guess you suck big.
What? Big titties? Yeah.
Dude.
Oh man, you guys are funny. Okay, one more guest. Hey, what do you got?
Damn. I didn't even mean to put a thing in. I'm sorry about that. But you have a nice day, though.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a mine. He was way behind to get that bit of steel.
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good. So
Right.
like when I
That's
go
great.
into the backyard and I look at the
Yeah.
stars, I just
Okay.
think about your nostrils, man.
Oh,
They're
crocky. Oh,
gigantic. They're
crocky.
so
Oh,
gigantic.
crocky. That's amazing. Look at the crocs. All right. Hey, crikey.
Hey, Mr. Mike, how you doing?
Terrible.
You're doing
Terrible.
terrible. All right. Well, I agree with you on these last couple takes. These have been ridiculous, but I got something for you that might tickle your brain a little bit.
Oh, great. Let's tickle it.
All right, Mike. Well, here's my question for you. If God is not real, then who in the darn tootin' heck put the salt in the oceans? Are you stumped, Mike?
I'm flabbergasted, sir. I just don't know who put the salt in the damn oceans.
There really is no explanation except for God.
That's right. It's got to be God. There's no way it could be natural processes or things like plate tectonics or
Oh,
continental
Mike,
shift. Gotta
I'm
be
about
God.
to bust, Mike. I'm about to bust.
All right, I had enough. I can't do this any longer. Oh man, Americans are so fucked. We can't read, we can't write, we can't think. No wonder Trump won. Oh man, we're so fucked. Anyway, guys, just keep thinking. Think critically. You know. I'm tired.